following is a special presentation of ESPN on ABC.
And welcome, everybody, to Lincoln, Nebraska, home of the five-time national champion Nebraska Cornhuskers. The last 2 weeks, they have been tough, but the Big Red faithful have come to see their team try to take a huge step towards winning the Big 12 North. Quarterback Zach Taylor leads the offense. It's the best in the conference this season. Missouri and quarterback Chase Daniel provide the challenge today. The winner's going to have the inside track to the Big 12 championship game. Missouri and Nebraska coming up. But now let's take you to New York. John, Craig, and Doug. Can you hear the roar? Welcome, everybody. A sea of red. It is Lincoln, Nebraska, the Tigers and the Cornhuskers. The 100th time they have met, going back to 1893. And for Nebraska, it's homecoming. It's presented by Best Buy. And what's at stake today? What's at stake is a chance to go to the Big 12 championship game, because today's game will all but decide the winner in the Northern Division. Missouri and Nebraska both are 3-2 in Big 12 play right now. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne along with Andre Ware. Dave Lamont will be joining us down on the field momentarily. We take a look first at Nebraska. Their offense among the top 25. Passing, rushing, total offense, and in scoring. And it all starts with the QB.
Yeah, it all starts with their quarterback, their senior quarterback, Zach Taylor, who basically took over this offense a year ago, led them to an Alamo victory over Michigan late in the season, led his junior college football team to a national championship in that appearance in the national championship in that game. He knows this offense. It's taken him 2 full years to get a full grasp on it, but he's got it running on all cylinders. At running back, it's going to be the eye back by committee. It'll start with Brandon Jackson, who has just been explosive the last 2 weeks. We'll see Cody Glenn, Marlon Lucky, and the other Kenny Wilson, but it's the same result no matter who's in the backfield, Gary. It's Nebraska on the ground running for big chunks.
And that's what we're going to see today. Let's take a look at Missouri, as our good friend and former coach Bill Curry likes to say. In this day and age, when you talk about offense, Andre, you go right to the quarterback, so let's go right there.
Yeah, and it's the guy pulling the trigger for them, Chase Daniel, who's only lost 3 football games since his junior year in high school, so he is in uncharted waters. He's trying to get the ship righted in the correct direction for this Missouri football team. Struggled a little bit last week. The first game he's gone without a touchdown pass. And then you look at Earl Goldsmith, who'll be in the backfield with him today. Tony Temple, will see him as well. He's been demoted because of fumble problems, but we'll see a lot of Tony Temple.
So what we're saying is both defenses are really going to be tested today. Which one's going to hold up? Dave Lamont from Missouri. Defensively, they're missing a guy they wish they had.
Oh, boy, you got that right, Gary. A lot of people sitting down and eagerly waiting this game. They got their snacks, they got their beverages, but I can guarantee you there's one viewer in Missouri who would really want to be here. We're talking about Brian Smith, Missouri's all-time sack leader. Suffered a cracked hip a couple of weeks ago. He is out for the regular season, and his availability even for the bowl game is in question. This injury was so painful he couldn't even go to his classes for a little while. Actually had to have his work brought to him. His place is being taken by striker Sulak, who does have 26.5 fewer sacks lifetime, but is tied for the lead among Missouri linemen with the most tackles. His task today, you've already touched on it, try to contain one of the most explosive offenses, not just in the Big 12, but in the entire nation.
You know, Andre, we talk about injuries, and coaches don't like to use excuses, but when you have injuries like that, they're injuries that really do matter.
Yeah, and you know, when you're talking about the best pass rusher on the team, and you look at the teams that kind of get through the season, Ohio State, been injury-free for the most part, and then you look on the other side of it, Oklahoma, who's had tremendous injuries with their best football player, Adrian Peterson. Gary, it's just part of the game.
And now you got to play through it. That's the case with Missouri in their defense. Let's take a look at our IBM Star Watch. Offensively, Chase Daniel, the QB, and 2 of the best tight ends in football are at Missouri.
Yeah, you talk about Chase Kaufman and Martin Rucker, arguably the best 2 in the NCAA. You see there, they know how to get in the end zone. 5 touchdown passes or receptions for Chase Kaufman. Chase Daniel will rely on those 2 all throughout this ball game.
Missouri is going to get the football first. We are ready to go. Jay Quesh is going to do the kicking. Earl Goldsmith is the primary man they want to carry. 273 games since the last kickoff was returned for a TD. Well, we'll see whether or not that changes here in this game. All right, it's Nebraska and Missouri. It is an enormously important game for both of these teams, both of whom are coming off losses last week, games they felt that they should have won or at least played better in.
Yeah, especially for Missouri. I mean, they had 3 interceptions, which is just uncharacteristic of quarterback Chase Daniel.
All right, back in, it's going to be Earl Goldsmith, 4 or 5 yards deep. That's where he will touch it down, and Missouri will bring the football out to the 20 and start there. Let's take a look at the starting lineups that are presented by Citi. Missouri wants to keep their offense on the field, move the football. Their D is hurting.
Yeah, they want to protect their football player, their best player, Chase Daniel, and it'll be Tyler Llewellyn, the left tackle, who will have his hands full with Adam Carricker throughout this ball game. But look for Missouri to throw the football to open up the run.
Well, they're starting with 5 wide receivers here. Chase Daniel at quarterback. He will move one back into the backfield. Earl Goldsmith, it'll be carried over the 20 to about the 23-yard line as they had that Nebraska defense strung out a little bit with the 5 receivers, and it'll be a gain of maybe a couple. Take a look at the starting lineups here presented by Citi for Nebraska. Defensively, whom does the task fall to in this game, Andre?
Well, it's going to fall to the 4 guys in the secondary. They will be tested all throughout the ballgame. Missouri, a lot of formations and a lot of passes.
Earl Goldsmith, his first start on the carry line of scrimmage, and that's about it. This Nebraska defense will stop him, no gain. Jay Moore, who plays in that open end position, will be called on to make a lot of tackles. He leads the team in tackles for losses this year.
Yeah, we talked to Gary Pinkel. He said, well, we want to run the football. We're going to run it a little bit more than we're used to running it because we want to take a little pressure off Chase Daniel, their quarterback.
Here's the first big third down play. Third down and long yardage. Third down and 8. Maybe a change at the line for Chase Daniel. The big Red Sea making a lot of noise. Looking over the middle. That'll be incomplete. At the 27-yard line, William Franklin, the primary receiver, the intended. They do not convert. It will be 3 and out for Missouri.
Yeah, it was Courtney Grigsby, the corner to that side of the field. 2-year starter, started all 12 games last year, matched up on Will Franklin. Probably Missouri's best receiver, leads them in receptions this year. But that will be a matchup we'll have to keep an eye on because it is speed going against speed on that side of the field.
Courtney Grigsby will be back for Nebraska. A big stop there. Missouri's been 52% on third down conversions this year. And this punt will come back from about the 13-yard line when he puts the foot into it. Taken at the 42-yard line, and there will be no gain. Great coverage right there. William Moore, after a 40-yard punt, moved in and put the hit on, and now Nebraska will take over. Let's take a look at the impact players we will see. Running back Brandon Jackson has moved to the #1 spot. Lucky will be right behind him, and Purify can catch.
Yeah, they like to screen to Lucky, get him out in space, but it's been Maurice Purify who's really stepped up the last couple of weeks. He's the type of receiver that Bill Callahan has been looking to insert into this Nebraska offense.
4 running backs will be used in this game. Brandon Jackson is the man in the backfield right now. They've shifted to a power right. Zach Taylor working at quarterback. Jackson on the carry over the 40, and a haul down right there. And a gain of probably a couple as Xavier Jackson moves in and puts the hit on. For this Nebraska offense, they have been a balanced team this year. We'll see how much of that we see. Expect them to run the football early.
Yeah, and look for them to run behind the big offensive line up front. They really like to go behind Matt Slauson, number 70, their right tackle. That is where they need something short. That's where they're going with the football.
As you can see, it is a glorious day here. Fall day where the temperature is going to be about 60 degrees. Jackson and Dane Todd in the backfield. That'll be carried on a bull run up to about the 45-yard line. A gain of 4 yards. Dane Todd can run the football from that fullback position. Lorenzo Williams moved in on the hit. The Missouri defense, there is no question, they are going to be called on to stop the run. If they don't do that, they are in trouble.
Yeah, they'll have to get deep in the trenches, and it'll be the 4 big guys up front. Ziggy Hood coming back from a broken foot a couple of weeks ago. He'll provide a little bit more bulk on the inside for Missouri.
Brandon Jackson in that backfield, the junior running back. Again, they shifted to slot it to the right side. They've got 4 receivers out there now, including Todd Dane, the fullback. They'll run it to the near side, 50-yard line, and down into Missouri territory, a gain of 7. And out of that backfield, Jackson Hardy Ricks, the red-shirted freshman quarterback, moved in on the hit.
Yeah, it was Marcus Bacon, the outside linebacker, who actually took a bad angle. But you see Missouri's rush defense there. The first 6 games of the season, they only allowed 1 touchdown. The last 3 games, 673 yards and 5 touchdowns. Well, they've got to get that thing turned around.
And that's why Nebraska is going to go straight ahead until Missouri shows they can stop them. Look at the number of people in the box. Everybody on that defense is moved up. It'll be carried by Jackson again, and he fumbles a football, and it's a turnover to Missouri. Both of these teams have had enormous problems with turnovers. It happens again. Brock Christopher comes up with it as Jackson lost it.
Yeah, and it looked like Xavier Jackson was the guy who got a big paw in there. You see it here. Jackson starting downhill. It was actually Brian Christopher who forced that fumble and then came up with it, or Jackson came up with it, but just a good job. He was clearly blocked and just kind of reached for the football. That's why you switch that ball to the outside hand away from the defense. Otherwise, guys are trying to stick big paws in there and pull it out.
Missouri looking to pass, nobody open. It'll be run down by Chase Daniel for a 4-yard gain. He fumbles it, and the turnover.
They're going to rule him down.
They said he was down. Nebraska thought they had the football back. Folks, you may see a lot of this today. For some reason, both of these clubs over the last 3 weeks have had the yips when it comes to hanging on to the football.
Oh, yeah. Dave Christensen, the offensive coordinator, going right to a quicker tempo in this football game.
That'll be carried for maybe a yard, and there is Tony Temple trying to earn his spot back. Number 22, the tailback, had been their starter all year. It's the first game where he has not been the starter. Why? Fumbles took him out.
And it didn't take him long to get him back in the game, did it? Well, because he had a heck of a week of practice. They said he's knocking snot bubbles out of defensive linemen. Hey, get my best player back in the ball game.
Let's just say he's developed an attitude, and they like it. That'll be carried down to the 37-yard line, a 5-yard gain. Eku, the senior wide receiver, it looks like it's going to be short of a first down by a couple, and it's going to bring up a 4th down again. So a 4th down and a couple of yards with the ball spotted at the 38-yard line.
Well, Missouri had some pretty good field position down around midfield and unable to come up with a first down here. Maybe a first down and a couple more yards gets him into Jeff Wolford's field goal range.
Could not quite get there. Grigsby will be back standing for Nebraska at his own 10-yard line. There's a big turnover that Missouri did not convert on. Crossett with the kick to the corner, and a beauty right at the 10-yard line. That football goes up and down 3 times and nowhere else. So a beautiful kick by Adam Crossett there, junior. Nebraska gets the football back. The 100th meeting for the Sea of Red here in Nebraska, taking on Missouri. The Nebraska Capitol right there with a seed thrower on top, representing this great farmland area. And this great matchup, Missouri and Nebraska, a chance to establish the number 1 spot in the division. 100th meeting. Nebraska leads the series. They've won 25 of the last 27 and 14 straight here. Missouri, though, won last year 41-24. Their last win here, 1978 from Missouri.
It's been a long time.
Been a long time. A lot of hit songs have gone by. Nebraska's got the football at their own 10-yard line. Missouri, one big chance they did not convert on after getting that fumble at midfield. First down and 10, Jackson in his tracks. He stumbled as he tried to cut back to the middle, and he is going to be thrown for a loss. Xavier Jackson, that senior defensive end, his 31st straight start and is one of their leading tacklers.
Boy, just getting tremendous push up the field, and he is having one heck of a season for Missouri. He has 5 sacks, an interception. Said he came to Missouri to play tight end. He wanted to score touchdowns. Well, a couple of weeks ago against Texas Tech, he picked off Graham Harrell and rumbled 17 yards for a touchdown. Kind of joked about that on Gary Pinkel's radio show.
See if Zach Taylor wants to put it in the air. He's got a 61.9 completion rate, 2,065 yards thrown for. They go straight ahead and up to the 14-yard line. Jackson again, 5-yard gain. You can see why this I-back situation in Nebraska really now has boiled down to one. He has taken over that number 1 spot, And he's averaging 6.3 a carry. That's why.
Yeah, he was recruited by Coach Blake, who's their defensive line coach when he was at Mississippi State. And he said, I talked to him yesterday. I said, how did you get from Mississippi to Nebraska? He said, I just wanted to see where John Blake was going, and that's where I was going to make my decision.
He took the train. 46% converting third downs. Add another one to it. A great look-in pass. Maurice Purify, who's become their primary receiver. Zach Taylor on the money, and Nebraska's got a first down.
Yeah, Maurice Purify is a guy that they really like to get the football to. Big body, you're going to see him come in, slant route. He's going to catch it right in the first window. Zach Taylor does a good job with his eyes and then the timing right there. Before the linebacker, number 33, Diedrich Harrington, can make a play from inside out.
Jackson again comes into the backfield. A first down and 10. Ball at the 28-yard line. Dane is also in there. Jackson on the carry. He found a hole, and he will move that up to the 35-yard line. Good effort. It'll be a 7-yard gain as Brandon Massey, the safety, made the tackle on Jackson.
Yeah, Andy Christensen, the left guard, you're going to see him pull around here and kick out, and then all of a sudden, there it is, the trap block, and Brandon Jackson just reads it right up the field. They like to do that, pull both guards, Mike Huff, the right guard, and now Andy Christensen subbing in today for Greg Austin, who I felt like is their best offensive lineman. He's out with a knee injury.
Jackson doing a lot of carrying early in this game, and he stays in there. Zach Taylor, the quarterback, brings the man in motion. Two receivers end up on the near side, and the whistle before the ball was snapped. A procedure call coming up against Nebraska, and did not get that one off, so they'll be moved back. It was going to be a second down and 4.
81 offense, 5 yards, second down.
Well, let's take a look, Gary. Just look, and there's a penalty on the play by Nebraska, but just how committed is Missouri to stopping the run? Look at all those bodies in there. You got just one here and one here. That's 9 guys in the box. You think they want to stop the run game for Nebraska?
They know they have to, but obviously, Andre, one of the things that they take the risk of is that on one of those plays where they're looking for a run, somebody goes deep.
Play action pass, and when you're having success running the football, that's what you got to stop first, though. We'll worry about the other stuff after, but stop the run, because that is a way to take the air out of any defense when it's just being run downhill at you.
All right, second down and long yardage here, and again, timeout's going to be taken before they can run this play. Why do you stop the Nebraska run? They have rushed for more than 200 yards in 5 games this season. Stop the run, or you don't stop them.
ESPN's College Football on ABC, presented by Best Buy. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours. Allstate. Are you in good hands? IBM. What makes you special? And the Nissan Titan, proud presenter of the 2006 Heisman.
Billboards. Great to have you back, everybody, as you take a look at Heisman Trophy winners. We're going to have a couple of them in the booth here today together. You do not want to miss that. We got one here already at Andre Ware. Brandon Jackson is in the backfield. They slot it to the right side. Jackson again on the carry. Great coverage. I mean, Missouri all over him that time. 3 or 4 guys in. He'll be thrown for a loss. They have the 25th best defense at throwing the opposition for a loss this year, and they're getting it done here. Dave Lamont.
Well, Gary, this is very unusual. It looks like Nebraska isn't substituting on offense for maybe the first time out. As soon as I say that, here they go. They are constantly, and Gary, you would appreciate this. This reminds me of a hockey game. They're forever changing personnel. They're changing lines all the time. They're all by Coach Bill Callahan and his assistants, and they call out the formation, obviously, based on his chart down and distance. But I've rarely seen a team change offensive personnel as much as these guys do.
Yeah, we'll get right into that right after this play.
And boy, they both are hurrying along here as well. Zach Taylor, that one's going to be caught. 40-yard line, up to midfield, one man to beat. Look at him carry the D down to the 25-yard line.
And he's going to be down. The ball came out.
No fumble, though.
He's going to be down.
A 47-yard pass play over the middle before Darnell Terrell could get to him.
Man, it takes a couple of different things here. You're going to see the eyes of Zach Taylor looking down the field in coverage, and then the offensive line getting up on the second level, which allows for Brandon Jackson to kind of break this thing wide open. Nice screen play and an excellent job with the eyes for Zach Taylor. You have to be able to sell the defense that you're looking down the field in order to complete that for a big game.
That is the 16th reception that Jackson has had along with his running game. Here he's a blocker, moving to the side, looking on the sideline. That'll be incomplete. Pretty good rush put on Zach Taylor that time, and he didn't have anybody open. J.B. Phillips, the intended receiver.
I thought he tried to go to Phillips late, J.B. Phillips late, but initially, right after he came off the play fake, J.B. Phillips went on a little corner route along the sideline, and I thought he had him rather quickly and should have gone there with the football. Got flushed out of the pocket, though, and may have disrupted his vision down the field.
Now Missouri's defense is going to be tested here. You see 8 on the rush, 3 in the pass so far for Nebraska. This year, 57% of their plays have been passes. 43% have been rushing in the year. Jackson in the backfield. Jackson's got room, but he can't make the corner. What a great one-on-one tackle right there by Dedrick Harrington, because if he doesn't make it, Jackson is gone.
Yeah, Dedrick Harrington is the middle linebacker here. You're one-on-one in the hole with a guy with some nice movement and can break tackles, and that's what you got to do. For sure tackles, no matter how you get him on the ground, just wrap up and hold on, and hopefully some teammates are coming.
His 40th start. Now a 3 for 3 so far on third downs for Nebraska. Better than they have on the season at 46%. They've got another big third down play. Back deep, big rush. Jackson can't get it. He was open momentarily, but that incomplete pass by Taylor caused by the rush of Xavier Jackson. Let's check in with Matt Weiner back in New York. Matt.
All right, Gary, it's a Taco Bell update from Lubbock. Texas Tech with a chance to get bowl eligible today, and so far, so good. Graham Harrell, Edward Britton on the touchdown. Red Raiders have the early lead. At Michigan, Mike Hart has fumbled. That's a headline. His first in 665 carries led to a Ball State safety.
Wow. Here we're going to have a 40-yard field goal attempt. Jordan Congdon, who is 3 for 5 kicking field goals, puts that one up, and it is good. Congdon splits the uprights with a 40-yarder, and Nebraska gets on the board with a 3-0 lead. What a sea of red we've got here in a day that's going to be about 60 degrees. ESPN College Football on ABC. Nebraska's big in the first quarter in scoring. Right now they've outscored the opposition 89-10 in the first quarter this season. They have the 3-0 lead here. Missouri, only the second time this year that they've gone behind in the first quarter. Missouri's going to get the football back. They look to get Goldsmith to carry it. He will take it at the 1-yard line. Goldsmith up to the 10. He will be down shy of the 20-yard line. At about the 18, where they will take it 1st and 10. National Football League is on hand here today. Dave Lamont.
Well, Gary, I'm here with the brother of Martin Rucker, Mike Rucker. Mike, let me ask you this. What's thicker, blood or Nebraska red?
Blood is thick, but that Nebraska red is thick too. I hope he does well today, but I hope Nebraska wins.
Now, how did he wind up going to Missouri instead of Nebraska?
Well, it was a tough call. I think he just wanted to start his own legacy and not have to follow behind me, and he could start with a clean start.
But who are you really rooting for today now? Come on. You were, by the way, a huge ovation when he was introduced a few minutes ago to this crowd.
I really want him to do well, Nebraska to win.
All right. There you have it, the honest truth about here. Mike, of course, has the week off. What a wild coincidence, Gary, that the one weekend he does have free, he can come here, watch his alma mater and his brother.
That worked perfectly for him. Martin Rucker, there he is. You saw the great rush put on by the Nebraska defense. 2nd down and 10. Turning to the sideline over the middle. It is caught at the 20-yard line, but the coverage is there. Franklin got it, but he will gain only 4 yards on the play. William Franklin, the junior, their leading receiver. He's been gone to a couple of times already in this football game by Chase Daniel, but Daniel is taking a big rush.
Yeah, he's getting tremendous pressure. from just the front four of Nebraska. They didn't show a lot of pressure last week against Oklahoma State. They played basically base sets, coverage behind it, 4 cross cover, 2 looks in certain situations, but they're getting tremendous pressure on Chase Daniel with just the defensive line.
0 for 2, third down conversions. Try it again, and not gonna get there. Only to the 24-yard line, a 2-yard gain. Shanley moved in on the hit. Goldsmith taken down.
I think that's a deficiency in this Missouri offense where they take it, they can't go downhill at you, so they rely a lot on the perimeter run game where they're trying to block guys down inside and get Goldsmith around the edge, and it's the same when Tony Temple is in the game, and I think that's where they come up short. A lot of teams, especially if you have speed on defense, can shut down the Missouri running game.
So Missouri's going to have to kick this football again. Adam Crossett will be in there to do the kicking. Averages 40 on the season, his longest 79. Puts the foot into it at the 14-yard line. Grigsby will take it at the 30-yard line, 35. Gets away from a couple of tackles and up to the 42-yard line. So a 47-yard kick and a 12-yard return by Courtney Grigsby. Tonight, don't miss a showdown. 2 of the Big 12 best. Oklahoma comes to College Station to rumble the Aggies of Texas A&M, UCLA, California, or Virginia Tech, Miami. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Saturday Night Football at 8 o'clock, presented by Southwest Airlines.
Yeah, and both those teams still in it. Oklahoma, A&M, that's going to be one heck of a football game tonight.
Coming down to the dwindling days as all of a sudden the games take on enormous importance for these teams trying to get to a championship game. Looking to pass from the 35, big hole, 40, 45, and up to the 49-yard line. Zach Taylor, a 7-yard gain. Derek Harrington moved in to put the hit on. Yes, when necessary, Taylor can run the football.
Yeah, and DeMarcus Scott's the guy that basically had the pressure, almost had him wrapped up, but good job by Zach Taylor protecting the football. He can pull it down, as you mentioned, and make some plays with his legs. What I like there was when he got in traffic, put both hands on the football.
He would rather not do that. They've got plenty of running backs, although today it's been primarily Brandon Jackson of the 4 that are generally in that backfield. Dane Todd, Brandon Jackson in there now. Todd, 41, is the big fullback. Jackson following him, and will have enough for a first down, a 5-yard gain.
I tell you what, the thing that impresses you when you watch Brandon Jackson run the football, and I got a chance to see him on film yesterday, he trusts the offensive line. He will wait for them to engage into the defenders before he makes a cut. Whether it's a trap block, guys pulling around in front of him, and they're right up the center, right up the gut of the defense. He's waiting patiently, and then all of a sudden, he will show you that explosion, Gary.
He's already had the ball 9 times today for 29 yards. That's a lot of carries here in the first quarter. A first down and 10. Jackson stays in that backfield. They fake to him, come around the other way to the 40-yard line, a little room sideline down to the 30, and driven out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Terrence Nunn, the wide receiver, has an 18-yard gain.
Yeah, he's a 3-year starter who came in here with Bill Callahan, and they run this play. You see the stretch there, and all of a sudden you see the end around a lot, but they don't give it. This time Nebraska chooses to give the football to Terrence Nunn, and he's able to they secure the corner and get him around the edge, but it's because of the ability to run Brandon Jackson between the tackles that makes for the play and the success to Terrence Newman around the edge.
And for Nunn, that is the second carry he's had on the year, only the second. Jackson is in the backfield. They will come around the other way in the option pass, going to the end zone, man open, touchdown! Terrence Nunn! Maurice Purified threw it, Nunn caught it. Nebraska's got the TD.
I don't know if there's any quarterback in the history, in Maurice Purify's history, whether he played the position or not, but he threw that football about as well as it could be thrown to the back edge of the end zone where only Terrence Newman, you're going to see it here, just a little end around, and watch him set his feet. He gets behind him here, and all of a sudden, watch where that ball comes down. Only Terrence Nunn is going to come up with the football.
A great pass. I mean,
wow.
That looks like a regular quarterback. That's the first time he's thrown the football this year for Purify. And a touchdown. The extra point kick is up, and Jordan Congdon puts it through. He is 40 out of 41. in point afters.
How about the
first pass of his career for Purify and a TD.
And watch the concentration on the part of Terrence Nunn right here just to get both feet down, not just one. You only need one in college football, but he's able to tap them both down. There's one, and then the second one right there, the right foot, securing the football. Boy, one heck of a catch.
That is just his second touchdown, even though he is the leading receiver on this team. With 29 receptions, he's only had 2 TDs, but a big one right there. And Nebraska extends their lead in this football game. And what's happened so far in this first quarter, Andre, is just what Missouri did not want to happen.
Right.
Their offense has not been able to keep possession of the football.
I'll tell you what, in their 2 losses, Gary, they got behind because it was turnovers. They were ahead of Oklahoma a week ago and then started turning the football over. Chase Daniel threw 3 interceptions. They had a fumble by Tony Temple that resulted in points for Oklahoma. Even dating back to Texas A&M, they put the football on the ground a lot in that game. So here they get an early turnover, unable to come up with any points, and now it's Nebraska who's asserted themselves here early in the first quarter.
Goldsmith again has to take it deep and will not be able to return it. They want Goldsmith to be able to bring that football out. He averages 20 yards, but not when you can't bring it out. Later today, ESPN 2 will bring you some great college matchups. Number 1 Ohio State, Troy Smith and company at 3:30 taking on Illinois. And at 7 Eastern, 16th ranked Boston College, number 22 Wake Forest. College football presented by Pennzoil coming up ESPN 2 Saturday. And the Nebraska fans with a lot to cheer about so far. A first down and 10 with the ball at the 20-yard line. See if they can move it here. That's to the 30 and to the 31-yard line, enough for a first down. Jared Perry, a freshman wide receiver who's averaging over 10 yards a catch.
Yeah, Jared Perry out of Lamarck High School, who beat up on my alma mater, my high school last night. I think they beat him 50-7. But he's one heck of an athlete. Came in as a true freshman and just looked good in camp, and they could not keep him off the field.
5 receivers. Chase Daniel again. The rush is on. Looking on the sideline. Flag is down. He threw that one away. Probably a holding call on Missouri. Jason Ray was the intended receiver. He got chased out of the pocket. And
holding offense number 71. 10 yards, previous spot.
that's what it was, trying to protect the quarterback. Gary Pinkel's having a long first quarter here for Missouri.
Yeah, it's the right guard there. You see the hand, Colin Brown working inside, and just gets a little bit too much jersey and draws the attention of the officials.
Trying to go to the air. This Nebraska defense is 83rd in the country against the pass, while Missouri offensively is 17th in passing. A little comeback is intercepted at the 20-yard line. It got batted up in the air, came down, did not hit the ground, and Adam Carricker comes away with the interception.
Oh, and now Missouri in that the water in which they don't want to tread in, turnovers. Adam Carricker, probably their best defensive lineman on a lot of preseason publication lists, and trying to screen underneath to Will Franklin, where he takes a shot by Ola Daganduro, and then Adam Carricker right there following the football is able to come up with a big interception.
That is his first interception, and it is the 9th thrown by Chase Daniel this year, and Missouri's getting themselves into very hot water very early in this football game.
Yeah, we talked to Adam Carricker yesterday, and he said, this is my kind of game. I get to rush the passer. They like to stay in that shotgun and throw the football. I'm going to have a heck of a day.
What great field position, 22-yard line, the shovel pass straight ahead. That's Marlon Lucky, one of those 4 running backs. First time he's handled a football. Brock Christopher made the tackle on him. Great field position here for Nebraska.
Yeah, Brock Christopher played as a true freshman right out of high school last year, played in all 11 games and became a starter this year, but they've subbed in Marlon Lucky, who is giving Brandon Jackson a breather here on this drive. And I'll tell you what, Nebraska with excellent field position.
Well, that's going to do it here in the first quarter. And for Nebraska, it was their quarter. They have taken a 10-0 lead and have dominated because they've been able to keep the offensive team out there while Missouri's just been in and out. You're watching ESPN's College Football on ABC, homecoming in Nebraska. What a sea of red, a new record here at Memorial Stadium, 85,197, the largest crowd ever for this homecoming for Nebraska. They've got the football. That's Lucky on the far side, turning it up to the 22-yard line. And they are again threatening to put another one on the board. Darnell Terrell moved in. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary.
Hey, look at it here. The rush yards just being dominated by Nebraska. Passing yards, the turnovers are even, but the first downs, the ones that move the chains and allow you to score at the end of possessions, right there, being dominated by Nebraska.
Nebraska's defense, their linebackers are hurting. All three of them have injuries that they're playing with. They did not want to keep them on the field a lot today for Missouri. Nebraska's keeping them out there. Sure. The screen play at the 20-yard line. Lucky turns to the 10, takes it inside to about the 7-yard line before Dedrick Harrington brought him down. Lucky with a 13-yard gain.
And they really like to screen to Marlon Lucky. And here in the middle of the formation, you see the eyes of Zach Taylor, and then here buying time for the defensive lineman to get to him, and then all of a sudden you get this from Marlon Lucky. He is unbelievable with the football, with explosion once he's in open space.
Congdon has kicked the field goal. We've had the pass on the come around from Purified to Nunn for the TD. That's where the 10 are from. They're threatening again, looking to the corner. Man open, incomplete. Off the fingertips of wide receiver Todd Peterson, the sophomore. He had double coverage.
Yeah, former walk-on Todd Peterson came in. He's just a sophomore from Central Catholic High School here in New England. You look at it there, just kind of short arms it. He had coverage beaten. The ball was thrown right where it needed to be. Just maybe took his eyes off of it a little bit too early.
Right now, Taylor's gone 4 for 7, 74 yards in the air for Zach Taylor, who in total offense generates over 220 yards a game. Here is a second down and goal. Again looking to the corner. Now comes to the middle and throws it away. He was under pressure and got hit as he let the football go. That was Xavier Jackson, that big defensive end who was in on him again.
Yeah, just bearing down on Zach Taylor, but he does the smart thing with the football. You're down here trying to get points. It's only second down. Throw it out of the back of the end zone. Don't try to force anything and come back and work third down.
The defense of Missouri trying to shut down this Nebraska offense that's already generated 151 yards to Missouri's 26. They've got Dane Todd. Jackson in the backfield to the corner, end zone, touchdown! Hauled it in just as he crossed the line, so now Purify has thrown for one and has caught one.
Well, that's the old fade stop. You get pressure or press from the corner, and the corner's high on top. You're going to see here come into the screen. He beats the press, but it's thrown behind him purposely because of the help coming over the top. And Maurice Purify, big athletic guy, 6'4", 210 pounds with fantastic leaping ability.
That is the 6th touchdown reception that he has had on the year. He is their leader in that department. Congdon out. The kick is up, and it is good. And it is really good right now for Nebraska.
Tell you what, it's some kind of homecoming, isn't it?
They are dominating here in this game with a 17-0 lead over Missouri. And a lot for the Sea of Red to be applauding. The history of Nebraska football, long and rich, Hall of Fame players, coaches, and a tough time to pick a hero of this program. Who would it be? We'll find out when we come back. So Nebraska's got the lead here in the second quarter by a score of 17-0. Missouri's going to get the football back. They have not held it for very long so far in this first half. They'll have Goldsmith standing back in the end zone, and this kick is going to be returnable. It'll be taken at the 7-yard line. Earl Goldsmith to the 20, and there he will be brought down at the 22-yard line, and that's where Missouri will take over with a 1st and 10. Let's see if they go to the air. Chase Daniel may have to do that because the running game they've not been able to get established against this Nebraska defense so far.
Yeah, it's been just tough going, and really Missouri trying to throw the football underneath, a lot of screen passes, a little pop passes outside, really not challenging this Nebraska football team down the field.
Missouri has 3 receivers sent to the near side. Chase Daniel, that's going to go to Tony Temple, and that's going to go nowhere. A yard loss.
You know, I run that about 3 times, and I figure out that it's not going to work because of the speed of the Nebraska defense, and I got to go to something else. I got to find a different way to run the football against this fast Nebraska football team.
How about if we give it to Johnny Rogers?
Hey, we can give it to Johnny Rogers. How about that?
Two Heisman Trophy winners, the first one ever in Nebraska. Johnny, great to see you.
All right, Gary, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. Yourself?
I'm doing just great, thank you.
You got to be celebrating this.
I am celebrating. We were kind of concerned here, but seems like we're right on track.
Up to midfield, down to the 40-yard line, and taken to the 32-yard line, and that is what they needed. Missouri needed the long run. Denario Alexander, a 41-yard completion from Chase Daniel.
And that's what we talked about, challenging the Nebraska football team down the field. That's what Oklahoma State did last week. They challenged this Cornhusker team down the field. That's what Chase Daniel has got to do.
Here's Chase Daniel out of the shotgun, looking deep down the sideline towards the end zone, incomplete at the 5-yard line. William Franklin was the intended receiver. Johnny Rogers, it was 3 yards on a cloud of dust football in the history of Nebraska. We've seen a change in the program. What do you think?
Well, I think we're going in the right direction. We've had the offense that we had before. Really, we couldn't recruit all over the country. Now we have a pro-style offense, and we're able to move the ball on a split second and score more points and create a lot more excitement to the game.
They have done that here. Missouri's got some room, and down to the 22-yard line, Tony Temple on the carry. That will be just shy of the first down. You were out last night signing autographs. Tell us about your book.
Well, I have a book called An Era of Greatness. It's a history book for the history, we call it, of Nebraska football. It's pretty much a guide throughout from 1890 all the way up to 1972, emphasizing the 69 and 72 teams.
For you. You had a couple of national championships here, the first for Nebraska back in the 70s. Daniel going down the line, making some changes here. This is a 3rd down and 1. 3rd and 1. They need that first down, and they're going to get it and more. Take it inside the 15 down to about the 13-yard line, an 8-yard gain. And Tony Temple now getting some playing time as Shanley moved in to put the hit on him.
Well, tell us a little bit about playing for Coach Don Devaney and how that era was for you back in the day.
Well,
Bob Devaney, I'm sorry.
It was a great time. Bob Devaney was what we call a player's coach. You know, we would do anything for Coach Devaney, and you could see that he really cared for the players, and he was able to bring out the best in you. And we won the big game.
You did.
That's right.
Chase Daniels looking to the end zone here. Got a man open, and it's incomplete. You saw Eku actually in the air do oh no, I'm wide open, and they couldn't get it.
Gary, you had me excited. I thought he caught it.
Gary does that.
I was worried, Gary.
We can't be you can be partisan, but we can't. That's going to bring up a long yardage here and a second down at 10. The first down is at the 3-yard line. Chase Daniel, hands off, nowhere to go. Tony Temple at the line of scrimmage. Ola Dogunduro moved in to put the hit on.
Well, it's been quite exciting for us since we arrived a couple of nights ago. But then when you come into the stadium like this and you see this kind of scene, how was it for you back when you were playing? Was it this kind of scene for you as well?
Andre, it was a great experience. You know, we always said even we have big crowds at home, and we always took 25,000 people on away games. We never have an away game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A big 3rd down. Chase Daniel again making a play call change. 1 for 4. 3rd down conversions. It's the option. It's pitched dangerously to Temple. Inside the 10 to the 9. Not nearly enough for a first down. All right, look, you got to do me a favor.
Sure.
Stand over here. Jimmy Z, our producer, can we get one more shot?
How about this?
That's what I want. Both of you. Both of you. You both do it just once.
That's it right there.
2 Heisman Trophy winners right there. There you go. And I got to see it.
All righty. Thanks a lot.
Johnny, thank you a million.
Thank you,
Pleasure
Gary.
to see you.
Okay.
The great Johnny Rogers, Heisman Trophy winner. You don't often get 2 Heisman winners in the booth at the same time.
Strike the pose, baby.
And I didn't tell him I was going to do that. All right, this is going to be a 27-yard attempt. Jeff Wolford, a sophomore, is out to do the kicking. His first year of kicking, he puts that one up, and Missouri is on the board. A 27-yarder, Jeff Wolford got it, and here in the first half, the lead is cut to 17-3. You put the left arm down, you put the left leg up. Johnny Rogers, Andre Ware, 2 Heismans.
ESPN's College Football on ABC. Presented by Best Buy. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours. Lincoln. Reach higher. And Aflac. Ask about it at work.
That's what the programs get built around when you have Heismans. There are 3 of them who have come out of Nebraska, and that was the first one. Johnny Rogers, and then 2 national championships that he became a part of. Some of the big names in Nebraska football etched around this great Memorial Stadium, which has the largest crowd they have ever had. Temperature's going to be around 60, unusually warm, bright, sunny, clear day. I mean, it could not be a better afternoon for college football.
Yeah, you talk about Heisman Trophy winners, Mike Rozier from here as well, Eric Crouch, and just fabulous guys. We get a chance to spend some off-season time with one another, and just good times every time we're together.
And in the end zone, Lucky's going to try and run this out. He's believing in his name, and he's right, 25 and up over the 30. To the 33-yard line, Marlon Lucky, who has taken over as one of 4 returning kicks brought down by Weatherspoon, Sean Weatherspoon, a 34-yard return. Thank you, Mr. Duck. Now time for the Aflac trivia question. Which team was responsible for Bob Devaney and Tom Osborne's first loss at Nebraska? Same team.
Tough one.
Tough one?
Tough one.
There are only 2 teams on the field. I mean, come on.
Tough one. Tough one.
Oh, man.
You're giving a hint, huh?
You're misleading.
Just giving
everybody.
a little hint there.
Just giving a little hint. Always look who's on the field. You got a pretty good chance.
That's it.
All right, Nebraska's got the football with Jackson in the backfield. A first down and 10 after giving up the field goal. Jackson on the carry. And he'll muscle that ahead for a couple of yards. He's been their primary carrier. His 11th carry of the game's 24 yards for Jackson.
Yeah, Dave Lamont made a good point talked about shuffling players in and out of that lineup. Well, they love to use a lot of different formation groupings to try to get mismatches all over the field that work to their advantage, and that's why they're constantly shuffling players in so you don't get accustomed to what they're doing. They want to just give you a lot of different looks.
Boy, both of these offenses go to work in a hurry, up over the 35 to the 40 and down to the 46-yard line. That's going to be a 10-yard gain, and Jackson again on the carry. This junior who had his big game last week against Oklahoma State with 182 yards is carrying the football more than ever.
Yeah, the tight end J.B. Phillips secures the corner for Brandon Jackson here and allows him to turn it, get his shoulder pads pointed north and south. But I'll tell you right now, they are just taking the fight to this Missouri defense, lining up, nothing special. I'm just going to run it right at you. You got to stop us.
What a change in their rushing job from 107th in the nation to 16th. Jackson again on the carry. He's got some room into Missouri territory, and he'll take that down to the 43-yard line. David Overstreet, a 12-yard gain, and the Huskers offensive line opening holes.
And this is exactly what they did in the first half of the football game last week against Oklahoma State. They took it, they had tremendous success, and watch the cutback here by Brandon Jackson. He sees it, that's where the cutback lane occurs. He plants the foot in the ground and sticks it, and all of a sudden he's into the second level of the defense. But against Oklahoma State, they had success like this, but they went away from it in the second half, which allowed for Oklahoma State to come back and win that football game.
41-29, the final in that one, and a very big loss. Nebraska's lost 2 in a row, by the way. This will be carried down to the 38-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain. Christopher on the hit, and Jackson. You wouldn't know there were 4 I-backs regularly used by Nebraska watching this game because Jackson has just moved into that #1 spot now, and you can see why.
Yeah, in the last 4 games he came in, he had 430 yards on just 66 carries, averaging over 6 yards a carry to go along with it. But I wouldn't be surprised if you see a bunch of tight ends, 3 tight ends in, maybe a little play action pass here.
A second down from that backfield. Jackson again on the carry down to the 35-yard line. Darnell Terrell and William Moore after a 5-yard gain.
You see a lot of teams will come in, they'll have those 3 tight ends, but Bill Callahan, he's not afraid to throw the football. All three, Josh Miller, J.B. Phillips, and Matt Harrion, are all good receiving tight ends. So he'll put them all in there at one time, and then that's when the play action will come when you least expect it.
Over 100 carries on the season now for Brandon Jackson, and over 600 yards gained this year as he stays in that backfield and gets hit in the backfield. I mean, he is nailed at the 35, and if you want to put a tackle on tape that you say, kids, this is how you do it,
yeah,
there it is.
Nice form tackle there, but I got a feeling Bill Callahan in this offense, the way they've been running the football, getting downhill, they've got to go for it here. You're across the 35-yard line into enemy territory. Go ahead and saddle up and go for it. Maybe take a time out here and talk about it.
4th down and 2. That's exactly what they are going to do. 4th down. They've gone 9 for 12 on the year. Let's see what he decides to do when we come back. Here in Nebraska, the 281st consecutive sellout today. It is the longest in the nation. You got two quarterbacks who like to throw the football, but not a lot of that in this game.
Yeah, not a lot, because Missouri's not taking chances. Only 3 passes down the field on their last scoring drive. But Zach Taylor, it's because of the running game in Jackson and Lucky that he's having the success in play action pass, getting the ball down the field.
Nebraska sprints to the line of scrimmage. They will kick. Now they won't kick.
It's just a hard count trying to draw Missouri off sides and have a timeout here.
That's what it is.
Yep. They're going to take the delay of game penalty.
They sprinted out, went into a punt formation, then moved Zach Taylor, the quarterback, into a passing shotgun situation, and then just waited. And Missouri did not move. They will take the 5-yard penalty, and now they will have to put the football off the field.
Yeah, I think I would have gone for it. I mean, you're running the football and you're gashing them with Brandon Jackson, and Marlon Lucky has checked in and had some success. And hey, you're on their end of the field with a 17-3 lead. Go ahead and mash the gas a little bit.
Dan Titchener comes out, averaging 40 yards per kick. He is a sophomore, his longest of the season at 58 yards. Tony Saunders, number 84, will be back hoping, looking for the coffin corner on the near side, and it will go out of bounds at about the 2 or 3 yard line. A tremendous position kick right there. Missouri will take over the football. Let's see if their offense can move it. Chase Daniel, he accounts for 290 total yards, 7th best in the nation. He's got to start accounting for it here. Obviously got to have some help from his friends out there. Handoff over the 10-yard line, 15 to the 20, and out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And there's a little help from your friends. Temple with an 18-yard gain. Let's check in with Matt Weiner in New York. Matt.
All right, Gary, let's check in on Baylor and Texas Tech in this Verizon Wireless update. Sean Bell out for the season for the Bears with an ACL, so it's Blake Szymanski filling in today, and so far filling in nicely. Keeps that one, 3-yard touchdown, and the Bears up 14-7, 8-6, floored up on Vandy in Nashville.
Boy, on the road at Texas Tech.
Yeah. Looking on the first down to pass deep, and I mean deep, all the way into midfield and over it. 3-man coverage down there on William Franklin. Franklin, the primary receiver, in a fly pattern that time, and Chase Daniel tried to air it out.
Yeah, the first 4 drives from Missouri, really nothing there, 26 yards and no points to go with it. But then the 70-yard drive that ended in a field goal attempt, and he had actually Brad Ekwu in the end zone, just kind of overshot him a little bit. But now Missouri trying to get a little bit of rhythm offensively.
And passing the football, 4 out of 10, 68 yards and an interception so far for Chase Daniel. He'll take Temple on the far side to the 30. Got some room, 35, 40, 45, and just shy of midfield. Andrew Shanley after a 23-yard gain by the man who lost his number 1 position as tailback for fumbling, and he's back now.
Boy, you just see the speed of Tony Temple once he gets around the edge of the formation. He can cut it back right in here, or he can continue to get it outside around the corner, which is what he does. And then all of a sudden he's one-on-one with the second level of the defense. Speed kills.
Looking to pass again over the middle. It's intercepted at the 45, and Nebraska's got it back. Cutting across the far side, there's room. Bo Ruud takes it all the way down to the 18-yard before he sprawls out on the field.
Well, the big fella ran out of gas. I think got to lateral that baby back to Courtney Grigsby, the corner, with a little bit more speed. But boy, the tips are just killing Chase Daniel and this Missouri offense. Remember, there were 3 interceptions last week. The first was a tip. Here, it's Adam Carricker, the defensive end, gets a paw on the football, and all of a sudden, Bo Rude changing directions, Gary, the big outside linebacker, and he runs out of gas, which Earl Goldsmith's able to bring him down. That's pointing, come get me.
Come get me.
Come get me. I need a breather.
He's taking oxygen over there. That's the second interception he has had on the year. And for Missouri, it has turned into a second half of their season where they continue to shoot themselves in the foot with turnovers. And Nebraska's got great field position again.
And you go on the road in an environment like this, you cannot turn the football over.
Now Nebraska's got a chance for another open in the end zone. Touchdown! A 17-yard touchdown catch. And I mean wide open. And that is Kevin Lures, number 89, I think, who hauled that in.
Yeah, and it's a nice play here. The play fake, you see it with the eyes, and then now Zach Taylor over the top to Kevin Lures. And I'm a firm believer that when you get a big turnover in a football game, you go and you try to strike as quickly as you possibly can. The momentum has swung to your sideline. What better way to end the drive than right away with a touchdown pass?
And the extra point is up and good. Tiefbiller, Hunter Tiefbiller, his third touchdown catch.
Easy.
And Missouri will get the football back, brought up to about the 23-yard line. Jimmy Jackson for Missouri on the return. But Missouri has got to hang on to the football as the turnovers, couple of interceptions have cost them. He's had 3 catches on the year.
Yep.
And all of them have been for touchdowns.
Hunter Tiefbiller, I'm telling you, when he catches them, he makes them count.
He's not even on the depth chart.
We're searching, and all of a sudden we find him, but he's way down there.
Yeah, big TD right there, though, to make it 24-3. Into the air they go, and now you may get a sense of not urgency, but panic as Chase Daniel throws that one away. It's not going to be enough. They've got to hang on to the football. They got plenty of time left in this game, but you've got to start progressively down the field.
When you're in a game like this and you're trailing like Missouri, you can't push the panic button because you know offensively you've got the capability to score and strike fast. Just want to get something started.
Comes to the near side, and there was nowhere to go as Tony Temple ran into his own blockers, and it'll be a loss. The reason that happened was Nebraska was standing up those offensive linemen. Dave Lamont.
Well, I'll tell you what, Andre was exactly right about Bo Rude. I was about 10 feet away from him when he was tackled, and he was happy to be tackled. He was so tired coming off the field. He was the only guy in the Nebraska defensive huddle. Didn't even take off his helmet. He was so tired. However, he just defended the first pass play, and he's back in the game right now. So playing a little bit off the adrenaline and the inspiration from the sellout crowd.
Third down, long yardage, 3rd and 15. Out of the shotgun, looking downfield at midfield. Incomplete. The defender fell down and may have. He's all right. But Courtney Grigsby fell down, but it didn't matter. It was overthrown. And Missouri's possessions now are going for about 20 seconds worth of playing time.
When I look at Chase Daniel right now, it kind of concerns me. You look at his body language, looks like he's starting to press a little bit and trying to force some things down the field. And that's not the way to get back in a football game like this on the road. You've got to score. Go ahead and eat up a little time. Take some time driving the football because you got an entire second half to get yourself back in this football game. Time of possession for Missouri doesn't matter. They score so quickly.
Adam Crossett comes out to do the kicking, does so off the side of his foot. It'll be handled at the 40 by Grigsby to the 45, midfield and into Missouri territory. Nebraska's had great starting positions. 42-yard kick, 12-yard return. Our Aflac trivia question: which team responsible for Bob Devaney and Tom Osborne's, both of them, their first losses at Nebraska? And the answer is the other team on the field today, Missouri. 62 and 73.
Black and gold.
They did it then, but they are not doing it here today as the offense for Missouri's not been able to stay on the field, and every turnover has cost them Missouri points.
And we talked to Gary Pinkel. We mentioned it a little bit earlier at the top that he wanted to run the football, maybe take some pressure off Chase Daniel. But when your best weapon is the quarterback throwing the football, you may be pressing the issue a little bit too much offensively, trying to run the football.
And Nebraska will try and run it midfield, and a big effort, second effort to the 42. That's Marlon Lucky, the sophomore, in a 7-yard gain. Dave Lamont.
Well, Gary, when you have 100 meetings, you're going to have some interesting ones along the line. You know that Nebraska's 400th, 600th, and 900th games in their career against Missouri. The team that beat Bob Devaney before his team's been on a 32-game win streak in the early 70s, Missouri. The first Nebraska overtime game ever. You're following along at home with this, I understand. So the coincidences are many, many. And in fact, 1962, when their 281 sellout streak, yeah, you answered that one too, didn't you? Guys, back to you.
And looking into that far corner, tossing it as far as he can at the 20. It is caught. It is caught at the 20-yard line. Nate Smith on a 22-yard reception. Swift, I think that's about as far as Zach Taylor could throw the football.
Well, I tell you what, nice corner route, and he throws it from one hash mark all the way across the field to the other. And a lot of defensive coordinators will just kind of play 3-deep coverage on that side of the field, not thinking that a quarterback's arm is strong enough to make that throw. Zach Taylor certainly hummed that one in there.
That was a long toss by Taylor. 229 yards a game passing for Zach Taylor. And they've got another first down and 10 towards the end zone. It is incomplete. Just batted away by Massey. Brandon Massey, the senior. There was a receiver open behind him, but the ball was in front of Massey. Todd Peterson was open.
Yeah, Massey had started some this year and lost his position to William Moore, who the coaches feel is one of the better athletes on this football team. Now it's Moore and Overstreet playing in the secondary, and they're against the pass or against that formation. They've got Brandon Massey in there. He's got 2 interceptions on the season. I'm kind of surprised he didn't come up with that one.
They could have used that one. 3 interceptions and 243 pass attempts. Zach Taylor, he's 7 for 12, 2 TDs today and 120 yards. They'll run that one, or at least try to, straight ahead. Maybe a yard gain right at the 20-yard line on the stop. That's more to set up this passing game than anything else right there.
Yeah.
And it brings up a 3rd and long yardage.
And when you're having that success running the football, the play action passes are there. They love to run behind Matt Slauson, the big right tackle. And because he's a big physical guy, he can play both guard and tackle. You know, he's in the game on most running plays on that side of the field.
5 for 7 for 3rd down conversions for Nebraska. The shovel pass on this 3rd down will not be enough. Stopped at about the 16-yard line as Hood moved in. Had been out 3 weeks with a broken foot. Back in last week. Hits Jackson. Stops him. Field goal attempt.
Well, you hear me say all the time, or in a lot of ball games, that there are small wins in a ball game. And for Missouri, just to hold to a field goal attempt in this ball game or in this possession is a small win defensively for the Missouri Tigers.
Well, let's see if they can get it as Congdon will come on. He made a 40 earlier in the game. This is a 33-yarder. Jake Weschroeder on the hold. The kick is up, and it is good. So Condon's got a couple of field goals today. He has now gone 5 for 7 on the season, and Nebraska's getting points out of virtually every time they hang on. 27-3.
Yeah, and they're getting the points off turnovers by this Missouri football team. You see here the tip pass, Carricker with the interception, and it's going to result in a touchdown pass to Maurice Purify in the corner. Then once again an interception here by Bo Rude, and then it results in a touchdown pass. So boy, when you turn the football over against this Nebraska defense or this Nebraska football team, they make you pay. They go down and they get points, and they get them in a hurry.
There's the turnover story right there. One takeaway from Missouri, no points off it. Nebraska's had 2 on the interceptions. They've scored touchdowns.
Yeah, and both passes that were tips. You know, tips, and then Nebraska goes down. They start running the football, and then they get down close, and it's Zach Taylor to a receiver and then a tight end, and he's doing a fabulous job of just spreading the football around where it kind of keeps you off balance, even in the passing game.
So Missouri's going to get the football. Goldsmith will be standing back at the 4-yard line, trying to get some field position, and spins away and gets it up to about the 20-yard line. where Missouri will take over 1st and 10. So Missouri, let's see what their offense can do here. Coming up on our Capital halftime show, John, Craig, and Doug will be along with highlights from the early action today. Discuss how Louisville's win on Thursday night over West Virginia is going to affect the BCS. That is all coming up.
Well, but how does Louisville just jump to 3rd? I don't know. Florida's been sitting there, and they're taking care of business.
Well, they may not jump to 3rd. That one over the middle at the 20-yard line of scrimmage, and maybe a gain of 3 on that. As Tommy Saunders, the walk-on who earned a scholarship, a sophomore receiver, hauled that one in.
Well, it would make a huge difference in this football game, Missouri, if they're able to get some points on this drive. Got a little better sense of urgency here. A lot of clock running.
They got 37 seconds left to go here in the first half. Chase Daniel out of the backfield. They got to get it down in a hurry at the 30-yard line. Caught, carried up to the 35. Eku on the carry. That'll be a 13-yard gain. The clock will stop till they get the chains down there. They need to get to field goal range here at least, as they started at their own 20-yard line. They've got timeouts. In fact, they have all 3 of their timeouts left here in the half. Daniel again under the rush, sideline pass, caught out of bounds. No, it's a reception. A great catch, driven out by the defender as William Franklin, their leading receiver with 84 catches. That one's good for 11.
Yeah, the official using his judgment that Will Franklin would have come down with a foot in bounds had it not been for the contact. So that's going to result in another Missouri first down, and now all of a sudden challenging down the field, they're able to complete passes.
Now you're doing this, of course, in the final minute, and Missouri's going to use one of their 3 timeouts, I believe. Nope, they're going to review it. Every play, of course, is reviewed upstairs in the replay booth. The Big 12 replays this year, 86 have been stopped for a review. 21 were coach challenges. Only here. 17 overturned.
Toe is just, I mean, that one's going to be close, and I'm not sure if there is enough. It looks like it's down there, and it taps maybe once or twice. I don't think there's going to be enough evidence to overrule the call.
Has to be indisputable evidence on the replay that the call on the field was wrong in order to overturn it. Certainly doesn't look like there's indisputable.
Yeah, now all of a sudden you get Chase Daniel making throws down the field where he's comfortable instead of screening and underneath and little pop passes. Go ahead and challenge this Nebraska defense, because what happens if you're not precise, you get the tips result in the interceptions, and Nebraska cashing them in for touchdowns.
After review, the pass is complete, the play is confirmed.
There you go. And for Missouri, also a break there. They didn't have to use their timeout, but they got a chance to go to the sideline and discuss how they want to run this. They've only got 20 seconds left to go. Missouri trailing 27-3 as we approach the half.
And not quite sure why they're saving those 3 timeouts.
Me either. Chase Daniel out of the shotgun, 3 receivers on the wide side, 2 to the near side. Only 4 down linemen here for Nebraska. Daniel still chased out of the pocket. Zone 35, gets it into the middle of the field at the 40-yard line. Clock still ticking. That is Alexander on the reception at the 36-yard line, an 18-yard gain, and now they want that timeout.
Yeah, I definitely take the timeout here. There's no need to rush it.
First charged, timeout.
They still have 10 seconds. Now, we were talking about the BCS standings, the effect of today's games, and of Thursday's game in particular. Our ESPNU All-State Standings review. Keep in mind, things are going to change here come next week.
Yeah, this one right here, West Virginia is going to go away, and they're going to drop down. And you may get Louisville, who jumps up a little bit, and maybe ahead of Florida, a one-loss Florida team. But a lot of people feel like Florida, playing in that SEC, will be able to maintain that position and maybe play the winner of Ohio State and Michigan for the national championship.
I'm still taking the tact that if it goes down to those 2 teams, Ohio State, Michigan, undefeated,
right,
that they're still going to be 1 and 2 no matter who wins that game.
Yeah, you really think so?
I really think so.
You know, it may be such a public outcry, though, to have someone different or to drop them down. But I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, if it's the best 2 teams playing, especially in a close football game at the end, hey, who knows?
Who's the best one-loss team right now?
I got to think it's Florida. I got to think it's Florida.
And I say if there's a one-loss team between Ohio State and Michigan, that's the best one-loss team.
Yeah, that's true.
But you're the Heisman winner, and I'm not.
You got a point there. Absolutely.
All right, time running out here. Let's see whether or not the Missouri team. Now, you only got 10 seconds. You've really got to watch this clock, as they want to at least get a field goal out of this. A first down and 10. Daniel to the sideline, down the sideline, throws it away, incomplete. Double coverage on the far side. Daniel did not have anybody open. And when he saw that, he just let it go. William Franklin, their primary receiver, number 3. The clock is down to 6 seconds. And did not get to the position they needed for a decent field goal attempt. They're going to aiming to try it anyway here. Jeff Wofford coming out. His longest is 44 yards. This attempt is going to be more than that. And a timeout is going to be taken by Nebraska. They want Wolford to have an opportunity to think about this before he tries to launch a new career field goal mark for himself.
Yeah, Jeff Wolford, he's got the wind to his back, so it's going to help him a little bit. Just want to get it in the air and start it between the goalposts. But he kicked his longest one against Ohio, and that was the 4th game of the season from 44 yards.
I want to remind you, coming up, ABC will take you to Atlanta, where the PGA Tour's top money winners battle in the season-ending Tour Championship, presented by Coca-Cola. Live third-round coverage of the Tour Championship next, right here on ABC.
Yeah, Adam Scott and Joe Durant, they lead that one and tee off here in about half an hour. So we'll see. It'll be a fantastic finish.
Husker. And there are over 85,000 of them here, and the new record-setting crowd on hand for this game.
Yeah, they started getting ready last night in the hotel.
Yes, they did.
And that had revved up pretty good.
Based on that, I'd say they're ready. They are hoping, because as we said, this team, the team that wins this game, will have all but locked up this division of the Big 12.
Yeah, just 2 games remaining in the conference for him, and it'll certainly give him a stronghold going down the stretch.
He has kicked a 26-yarder. This one is going to be 54 yards. Jeff Wolford, who came to Missouri as a member of the swim team as a diver, decided he wanted to kick. Does he still feel that way? It is up, and it is good! A new mark. Jeff Wolford with a 54-yarder that just had enough to get over what he probably viewed as the diving board.
Boy, he shaped that baby in there just like a nice little pitching wedge and had just enough on it for it to check up on the green, and it's good.
So the sophomore celebrates, and look, that is a big field goal coming at the half to make it 27-6. Coming up next, back to our New York studios, John, Craig, and Doug coming up. That will be right after these messages, our Capital One halftime. Back, everybody. Nebraska's homecoming so far very successful with that 27-6 lead, and this has been the story of this game. The turnovers by Missouri, interceptions have resulted in the touchdowns. Zach Taylor putting them in. Welcome back. I'm Gary Thorne with Andre Ware. Missouri's got to get it going here if they're going to get in this football game.
Yeah, they've got to challenge Nebraska down the field. You saw at the end of the first half when Chase Daniels started to have some success, they were throwing the football down the field to get away from the screen passes underneath, the little bubble screens, and then trying to run out to the perimeter of the defense, go right at them, and just basically challenge them in the second half.
First, what they've got to do, though, is get the football back, because they chose to, Missouri had the football to start the football game, so Nebraska's got that offense out there again.
Yeah, and you know what? Once they get the football, go ahead and convert some third downs when you get it. They're only one of 6 on third down, so they've got to do a better job in that department as well.
Total yardage evened up with that last drive by Missouri, 242, taken by Nebraska, 178. For Missouri, you see the average field position start much better for Nebraska. And those turnovers. Missouri, in the 2 losses they've had, their turnover margin's been a -5. In the games they've won, 7 of them, it's been a +6. And in this one, 2 turnovers, 2 opposing touchdowns, they're a -1. We are ready to go. This is going into the end zone. Lucky is there, and that's where he will down it. Nebraska's got it. We'll check in with Dave Lamont. Dave.
Well, I talked to a surprisingly upbeat Gary Pinkel coming out of the dressing room, and he said, look, stranger things have happened. We can do this, but we got to start doing it one score at a time. And he admits that the way his defense is played plays exactly in Nebraska's hands. They pound the ball and then use the play-action passes, and they're up by 21 points. Bill Callahan was a little bit more reserved walking off the field. I said, is that about as good a half as you played all year? He says, yeah, you could say that collectively. When I asked him, are you going to make any changes? He says, no. Back to you.
When you got that kind of a lead, if you're the Huskers, you just keep on going.
And that's what they did last week against Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Ran the football well and got away from it.
Jackson, who's had a very big day, gets away to the 30-yard line, and that's going to be enough for a first down. An 11-yard gain for Brandon Jackson, who has carried the football 17 times in this game, has picked up 67 yards.
Right.
There's the total offense. See what he's done against Missouri.
Yeah, he's right there with him pretty much alone, and just total offense for Brandon Jackson, and they like him. Randy Jordan, their running back coach, really likes this kid. You could tell they talked with one another yesterday, and I saw them together. They really have a good player-coach relationship.
Zach Taylor, a first down and 10 for Nebraska, just underway here in the second half. They use that eye back, second man through, and up to about the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be it. Jackson started out that first half carrying the football virtually every time, and he's doing the same here. Our Pacific Life game summary.
Yeah, you look at it, the score, and part of the reasons, the 2 turnovers right here by Missouri, and it resulted in the 14 points, time of possession. It really doesn't factor in for Missouri because they score so fast they can get themselves back in this football game, but they certainly need to take care of the football.
Yep, and they've not been able to do that so far in this game. Now their defense has got to try and get it back. Keep in mind this Missouri defense against the rush, 49th in the nation, 27th against the pass. And here it's going to be a look downfield on a big rush. They'll get it out to the back at the 40-yard line, and another first down, Brandon Jackson. That's where the rest of the yardage for him has come from. That's his 3rd reception. He gets 11 on that. He's had 3 receptions for 61 yards.
Yeah, we spoke with Jay Norvell, the offensive coordinator this year. And he talked, the way he described Zach Taylor was just the intangibles. He's got all the intangibles, and on that play, he had a lot of pressure flushed out of the pocket by Xavier Jackson, but he knew exactly where Brandon Jackson was located and threw him the football in space and allowed for him to work his way to the first down mark.
9 out of 14 in the passing department now for the quarterback, Zach Taylor. There's senior. Nebraska moving the football again. They come to the near side. Jackson gets spun around. And no gain. He is stopped at the line of scrimmage. This Missouri defense has obviously spent a ton of time out there on the field, and they need to get off here in the second half.
Yeah, you look at it, Brandon Jackson working inside between the tackles here, and it looks like this ball, it may come out a little bit, but it was clearly he was on the ground.
Now we'll get a second down in long yardage. Lucky is coming to the backfield. A lot of movement here. Nebraska keeps that opposing defense guessing, and they'll be going to Lucky, who will not get the first down. Takes it up to about the 46-yard line, a gain of 4. Marlon Lucky, the sophomore, he has had rushing wise 4 carries under 20 yards in the gain department today.
Boy, he's going to be a big time player. You talk about just speed and size and explosiveness. You're describing Marlon Lucky. When he's in the open field, boy, he is a load to get on the ground.
And here's where Nebraska got it done in that first half. 5 out of 8 on 3rd down conversions. They've got another 3rd down here, a 3rd down and 6. Taylor looking, they screen it to Lucky to midfield, and he's got the first down. Takes it into Missouri territory up to the 46-yard line. That's a gain of 8. Lorenzo Williams put the hit on.
Man, if you're looking at this play, you watch Marlon Lucky. What makes the play is he doesn't spend any time pitter-patting around or right there. Just get north and south in a hurry. Smells the first down marker, and he gets north and south, and that's what allows him to pick up the first down. A lot of young backs, they sit back there, they try to throw a lot of moves, make a lot of people miss. That guy there, smart with the football, get north and south in a hurry.
Rush yardage almost being doubled now by Nebraska against Missouri. Another first down, 1st and 10. They are in Missouri territory. The handoff straight ahead and carried for maybe a yard. Good work by the interior line. Jaron Baston on the hit. Let's check in again with Matt Weiner in New York.
All right, Gary, here's a vote for the Pontiac game-changing performance of the day. Northwestern in Iowa City, up 14-0. Drew Tate at the goal line, but he's picked off by Brendan Smith as the Wildcats protect that 14-0 lead. To vote for your Pontiac game-changing performance, log on to ESPN.com, type in keyword Pontiac.
Northwestern giving Iowa all they can handle today.
Only one. Here's Zach Taylor on the second down. They go to the first man through. That is going to be carried up to the 40-yard line. Again, that is lucky. And he's going to gain 7 on that, shy of the first down. Marcus Bacon, their leading tackler, on the hit.
Yeah, he was converted from safety and moved him down the linebacker to get some more speed on the football field. He led him in tackles coming into this game with 81. One heck of a football player. He's named the team's most improved linebacker in the spring.
And here comes the Nebraska shuttle. They wait till the last minute. They've got 8 guys gathered around Bill Callahan. 3 or 4 of them will come on the field at the last minute, and then they hurry up into the offense, trying to catch Missouri, trying to prevent Missouri from seeing who's actually out there. Jackson is in the backfield. He's got the football. He's not going to get to the first down marker, but he's mighty close on the second effort. A gain of 3 for Jackson. It looked like he was going to be taken down at the line of scrimmage, but Brandon Massey couldn't hold on to him.
Well, right here, you're just going to see just pure determination. They get a crackback block by Nate Swift, which kind of secures the corner a little bit. Now it's just leg drive and shoulder pads pointed north and south. Nebraska electing to go for it here.
On fourth downs, 9 out of 12 on fourth down conversions, the best in the Big 12 in that department. Bill Callahan's going to go for it here. A 4th down and 1. Dane Todd, 41, the big fullback. They roll it to the right. They're going to go in the air. It is incomplete. He will not want to see that again. J.B. Phillips with nobody remotely close to him.
And now J.B. Phillips is the first thing he's thinking is, come on, defense, hold him. But right now, you see right here, Zach Taylor out on the edge and wide open, not a jersey behind J.B. Phillips, who does a heck of a job of getting himself open. They sell the run. He's so wide open. Oh, my goodness.
He is the H-back who had a first down but couldn't hang on to it, so they do not convert on 4th. Missouri gets the football back. You're watching ESPN's College Football on ABC. Missouri and Nebraska are presented by Best Buy. Nebraska's had the day of it on their homecoming, but they just turned that ball over on 4th down when they could not convert. Missouri's got it first down and 10. And a lot of room up to the 40-yard line, 45 midfield, and into Nebraska territory. Chase Daniel, a 17-yard gain, and maybe that failed 4th down conversion is the break.
And it might actually turn this football game around. But I'll tell you what, Chase Daniel's going to have to start taking advantage of some uncovered receivers. Nothing in front of the receiver, Denaro Alexander, right there parked in the slot.
Out of the shotgun, there's a mix-up. What kind of a handoff was that to Tony Temple?
And you know, you're going to find it hard to run the football because Nebraska wants to stop you. They're so fast defensively that you can't get out on the edge. You start popping that open slot receiver that's just sitting there uncovered. Actually, it's Martin Rucker, who's the big tight end. That'll give you 5 yards. It's just an extended handoff. Get him the football and loosen up that Nebraska defense.
What was that? Chase Daniel ran into his own man, Tony Temple, that time. Brings up a second down and 10. Daniel looking over the middle. That is caught. A bullet. And that'll be at the 35-yard line. Enough for a first down. 10-yard gain. We've talked about Martin Rucker and Chase Kaufman. They're great tight ends who have all kinds of career numbers receiving, but they haven't been much in this game.
Yeah, you see the slant pattern right here, waiting on him to get to the second window. Doesn't hit him right out of his break. He waits until he clears the linebacker and then delivers the football.
Averaging 8.9 yards a catch. Martin Rucker got that one. Missouri driving here, first down and 10. In the pocket downfield, that's going to be incomplete. Had a chance on William Franklin, but not a well-thrown ball by Chase Daniel.
Yeah, and Brad Ekwu, the slot receiver to that side, actually came open. And you'll see him get hit in the head. Right here. Right here, Chase Daniel gets hit in the head, and that's a blow to the head. That's a penalty, and it went uncalled.
And this will bring up a second down and 10. On the handoff, a lot of room to the 25. and gets to the 21-yard line. Tony Temple. Temple, before Green could bring him down, Thierry Green, after a 14-yard gain.
Well, just store it in the back of your memory. That drop pass by J.B. Phillips, the tight end, on 4th down and short for Nebraska. And now all of a sudden, Missouri in a little rhythm moving the football.
They are doing that both in the air and on the ground. Temple's in the backfield. They come around to the near side, found some room to the 15-yard line and out of bounds. Almost got his neck taken off by Green again. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. And the fury of Mr. Temple, who lost his starting role, has showed a few times in this game.
Yeah, watch the block by Martin Rucker, the tight end, on the left side of the formation here for Missouri, which is going to allow, he's going to come into your screen, but it allows for Tony Temple. Right there is where that secures enough to allow Tony Temple to turn the corner.
Temple's got 79 yards on 12 carries, circling where? Daniel Chase, 25, 20, going to carry it. Ooh! Put his head down, and fortunately for him, got over the defender to the 10-yard line. That was Courtney Grigsby. It'll be a 4-yard gain for Daniel, who went into that head first.
You wonder why he's had so much success winning football games. This type of attitude right here. I'm going to lay it all on the line for my football team to pick it up. Just listen to it. That's taking it on right there head first. I'm going to get the first down.
All right, first down and 10. They hand off to Temple through the middle, and he's not going any further than that 10-yard line. Maybe a gain of 1. Temple coming back into the middle, and that time just got stood up by the linebackers of Nebraska. Missouri with a chance to get back into this football game if they can get a touchdown here in the third quarter. Nebraska has not allowed an opponent to score on the second half opening drive all year long. 8 plays, 53 yards. But a big play here on second down. Second down and goal. Temple's in the backfield. Temple with the carry. Temple up to the 5-yard line. Found a little room for 4 that time. Steinkeller moved in and put the hit on.
All right, field goal's nice, but touchdown is even better for Missouri, and you got to be thinking that way, trailing by 21 points, and this will pull you close in a hurry. They've only had the ball going on about 3 minutes on this current drive, but we talked about it. They can score fast and get themselves back in this football game in a hurry.
All right, they've got a score here. They're on the 6-yard line. It is third down. Goldsmith.
Boy, keep an eye out for the quarterback draw. Nobody in the middle of the field.
Nobody. They dump it back into the middle of the Temple. Touchdown! And that is Martin Rucker, who came back across the middle. Martin Rucker, the tight end, gets the touchdown for Missouri.
Yeah, a couple of ways to get to it. You could have just run the quarterback draw and block it up front with the offensive line, but then Rucker comes underneath. There's no one there, which allows him to get himself into the end zone. Excellent play call on the part of Dave Christensen, the offensive coordinator for Missouri.
And keep in mind how all this started. It was when Nebraska tried on a 4th down conversion for the first down. A receiver couldn't handle it. Ended up turning the ball over. Missouri takes it down the field. Jeff Wolford will come on for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. And Missouri gets a vitally important touchdown to put themselves back into the football game for Rucker, his 4th touchdown catch of the season. 27-13.
ESPN's College Football on ABC. Brought to you by Cadillac. Check out the Cadillac Navigation event going on now. Cadillac, Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit. The Home Depot's Improvement Week, November 2nd through the 8th. Singular, raising the bar. And Pacific Life. For insurance, annuities, and investments, choose Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed.
Ready to go, and this crowd has quieted down at Nebraska now as Missouri gets on the board. 27-13, and you know this house filled with Reds thinking about last week.
Oh, absolutely, and they don't want to go away from what got them the lead in this football game. They certainly did it last week. I wouldn't think Bill Callahan would make that mistake 2 weeks in a row.
Lucky's got it from the 1-yard line, and he will be brought down inside the 15. They'll mark it at about the 12. Take a look at our Best Buy playbook.
Now we're going to pull up the screen pass. I'm thinking quarterback draw here, where you're going to have Chase Daniel in one of the 2 alleys, but Ryan Madison's going to kick out here. The receiver, Kaufman's going to come here, the tight end, and then they're going to hit Martin Rucker underneath on the screen pass, and it's blocked up just fine. Nobody in the middle of the field. Get your shoulders pointed north and south and into the end zone.
Nebraska's loss last week came against Oklahoma State. They had the lead at the half. It was the first time under a Bill Callahan team here at Nebraska that they had lost a game where they had the lead at the half. Now their offense back to work. Brandon Jackson will be in the backfield on the carry near side. 15-20. What a day he is having. It'll be a 5-yard gain for Jackson, and we'll check in with Dave Lamont.
Gary, as you might guess, emotions running high on the Missouri bench. Chase Daniel just walked up and down the U-shaped area where the offense is gathered and went to everybody and said, "You see how easy that was? Do you see how easy that was? We can do this one play at a time." Before he pumped up everybody, slapped 5 with Tony Temple. All of a sudden, this bench is paying attention to everything that's going on the field, and even the special teams. This is an eager bunch right now. They really believe they can win.
Yeah, defense giving up a little bit too much on first down, though.
Yep, they've got to get this football back now in a hurry and not let Nebraska just continue to drive it. The come around is up to the 20, and a great one-on-one tackle, none. Only a 3-yard gain, as Darnell Terrell, the junior cornerback, had a one-on-one hit.
Yeah, he's a big physical corner out of St. Louis, Missouri. At 6'3", 205, and one a heck of an open field tackle. But Brandon Massey gets himself out of position, flying up from the safety position, and you've got outside contained. The only thing outside of you is the corner deep down the field, and it's a good thing Darnell Terrell recognized the end around and was able to help out.
6 out of 10 in third down conversions. A 3rd down and 2 for Nebraska. Jackson in the backfield. Zach Taylor under center, only one receiver out. They're going to go power left. Jackson's got the first down, 30, and driven out of bounds at about the 32. Diedrich Harrington over there to drive him out. And that's going to be counted as a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, watch the block by Dane Todd, the fullback here, around the edge, and right here is where you're going to get the block. Just chopping trees down along the way, which provides great running room for Brandon Jackson.
Dane Todd, not only a great blocker, he's an academic All-American and only one of 11 Division I players awarded the Good Works Team Award for his efforts off the field and charity around the campus.
Yeah, 4.0 student.
Not bad. Dane Todd, congratulations. It is a first down and a 10. Taylor, they go far side, and everybody is in there in white. That'll depend on the marking, how much of a loss Lucky is thrown for. But the Missouri defense had almost everybody there that time as the lineman slid down to the right.
Yeah, Matt Eberflus, the defensive coordinator for Missouri, getting more bodies around the line of scrimmage. And basically, you've got to play your area of the field. You cannot get yourself out of position. Brandon Massey did a couple of plays ago. They paid for it with a big run, and luckily Darnell Terrell was there to make a stop. But you're going to have those guys around the line of scrimmage. That's going to create man-to-man on the outside with those receivers. And look for Zach Taylor to kind of start spinning that ball out wide.
See what he does here in a 2nd down and long yardage after that loss of 1. 2nd down and 11. Lucky in the backfield out of the shotgun. Taylor looking deep, didn't have anybody, but look at the time he's got. Brings it to the near side and throws it. Didn't really throw it away. Took a chance on a sideline pass that ends up being incomplete. Terrence Nunn was the intended receiver, and Taylor had half the day on that one. Time permitting, we invite you to stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report. Scores and highlights. John, Craig, and Doug will be in New York to bring it to you. Gary Thorne, Andre Ware upstairs here watching this one. Dave Lamont down at field level. Largest crowd ever. Memorial Stadium in Nebraska for their homecoming. And so far, the Red have the lead. But
in an area they don't want to be in, 3rd down and long. They said they wanted to live in 3rd down and 5, which they could still run or pass.
Lucky in the backfield. It's going to go to him at the 30-yard line, trying to get the first down territory. Does midfield and into Missouri territory. A huge play. Harrington got to him, but a 24-yard gain for Lucky.
Well, he left David Overstreet, the safety, and they really like David Overstreet. Just left him sitting there. Gave him a move outside, stuck the foot in the ground, and changed directions. And then all of a sudden, he was off to the first down marker. You'll see it here. Nice little swing pattern, and that's a tough throw. Between the arms of a defender, but then you're out in the open space, and you see him stick the foot in the ground against David Overstreet and get me some more.
What a job they've done in third down conversions on the season. Only 46%, but 8 out of 12.
Yeah, that's moving the change here.
Those are big plays. A first down and 10 in Missouri territory. Nebraska Lucky on the carry. And he will be brought down at about the 38 after a 4-yard gain. That is David Overstreet who takes him down.
What a luxury to have a guy like Marlon Lucky who started the season, and Brandon Jackson's come in and he's had one heck of an afternoon. But then they go back to Lucky and spell Jackson, and now all of a sudden you just keep two really fresh young running backs going all throughout the afternoon. That wears on a defense.
You've got Jackson averaging on the year 6.3 per carry. You've got Lucky averaging 5.9. And they are both working in this game. A second down and 6. A look again into the backfield. That is Jackson trying to find some blockers. There weren't many. He will gain maybe a yard on the play.
Well, you saw the block a couple of plays ago by Dane Todd, and when they offset the fullback, the majority of the time, that's where Nebraska's going to run the football, behind Dane Todd. He'll offset left, he'll offset right, but when he's in the football game, they're going to check him out on third down and long here. But once they offset him, that's usually about 80% of the time, that's who they're going to run behind, because he's such a fierce, ferocious lead blocker.
Only a minute 30 left to go here in this first half, third quarter. Nebraska looking for the first down again. There's another big third down play. This one is going to be complete. It doesn't look like it's enough for a first down.
Boy, that's going to be close. He's going to get a generous spot.
None on the reception. And it depends on where it is.
All slant routes right here. Inside position by the nickelback, Cornelius Brown, and it's still Terrence Nunn is still able to get inside. Gave him a nice little move on the outside, set him up that way, and came right underneath. And Zach Taylor, boy, what timing on the throw.
And based on this spot, it may well be that they're going to get this first down. Bill Callahan, third season for the Cornhuskers, 19-13 coming into this game. Went to a Super Bowl, of course, in Oakland. And there you see that yellow line that only we can see, and he got it.
Yeah.
So they get the first down, not what Gary Pinkel wanted to see in the other sideline. Now look at all the players over there. Watch this. This is what goes on at every play. Zach Taylor got us surrounded by people. They send out a group. Another group goes running off.
Yeah, and tight ends, fullbacks, everybody joining in the fun.
That's the way it's been. So for the defense, in this case Missouri's, you're trying to pick up who's in the game. 10th play coming on this drive. Jackson nowhere to go. 2-yard gain just shy of the 30. Harrington again moved in on the hit. Dave Lamont.
Dane Todd yesterday, you already mentioned his academic credentials, and he said, you know what? This is complicated. Now, this is an academic guy telling us all this, but he admitted that it's a lot better now than it was a year or two ago, and they were struggling to understand this system and getting used to all the ins and outs and all the intricacies and all the substitutions that we focused on today. So if an academic All-American and a guy with a perfect grade point average is having a tough time with it, it's got to be tough on everybody.
Yeah, and it's the verbiage. It's just basically, we were talking to Zach Taylor yesterday. He said, man, just learning to get the play call in the huddle was a chore.
And second down, long yardage. Again, they go to Jackson out of that backfield. He will take it down to about the 26-yard line, a 4-yard gain. They keep pounding away, and the clock's going to expire here in the third. So Nebraska with a lead, wanting to keep the football, keep a drive going after the Missouri touchdown. They have been able to do that here. Bill Callahan's club. And the Big Red applauding. Only 3 seconds left to go, and he wanted to make sure they did not move the football again. So only 1 quarter left to go, and a chance to put yourself in a great position for the Big 12 championship game. And right now, Nebraska's got the lead. ESPN's presentation of college football on ABC will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Well, the fans of Nebraska for this homecoming. So far, about a lot to cheer about. 27-13. Missouri, last couple of possessions, they've been able to score. Nebraska's got the football now. And 5:46, time of the drive so far. They've still got it in their hands inside the 30, and flags go down. Probably a holding call coming here as Lucky driven out of bounds.
That or an illegal crackback block, because they've been using that. J.B. Phillips came in motion, and that may be what the call is here.
Holding.
You're right.
85 offense. 10-yard penalty, previous spot.
But it was J.B. Phillips. I knew it. You know, he was coming in. He's been cracking down inside, and you look at it, and just a guy trying to slip off a block, and he may have gotten just a hair bit too much of the jersey. But that's a big down for Missouri. Back them up, and now you need to stop them. They've had the football in Nebraska 13 minutes longer than Missouri. We said it doesn't matter with time of possession, but guess what? You got to get your hands on it at some point to go down and score some points. So it's a big stop for Missouri.
Big penalty. We've only had 4 penalties combined in this game. That may be the biggest one of all if Missouri, in fact, can hold here. Brandon Jackson checks into the backfield. A 3rd down and 14. 9 out of 13 in the conversion department for Nebraska. Zach Taylor will work out of the shotgun, looking downfield into the corner, pushing, shoving. Caught at the 2-yard line. Nate Swift with a tremendous catch as Zach Taylor put it in the pocket for a 34-yard gain.
What a catch and throw. I mean, that's going up, and sometimes guys aren't open, but you just have to depend on them to make a play for you. Tremendous coverage right here by Cornelius Brown. I mean, blanketed, and all of a sudden Nate Swift comes up with that reception. Go up, climb the ladder, catch it at its highest point, and he gets it put away before he lands on the ground. I mean, that one right there, just trusting your receiver. You know the body language of guys. You've worked all offseason with them, all through summer camp, and then that one is just trust from Zach Taylor and Nate Swift.
And Cornelius Brown, the defender, is down on the field, being helped up while they are getting him off the field. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary.
Well, you see right here just the time of possession, of possessing the football a little longer. Nebraska, then Missouri, not allowing that high-powered offense to get itself going. We saw it on the last drive. They were able to go down and punch it in the end zone. Yards after the catch, 120 from Nebraska. That's unbelievable.
What a big catch for the 1st down. Another 3rd down conversion. Jackson on the carry. Touchdown! The big 3rd down conversion against this Missouri defense right when it looked like Missouri was going to have a chance to get it back.
And it's been the 3rd down conversions for Nebraska, which allows for Brandon Jackson to get himself into the end zone. Nice throw and catch on the part of Zach Taylor and Nate Swift to set up this touchdown run. But Brandon Jackson, boy, I tell you, they're always pointed north and south. No pitter-pat, no stutter step.
Diamond puts that one up, and it is good. So Nebraska answers with a 13-play, 85-yard drive that took 6 minutes. Extends their lead, 34-13. Nebraska piling up the points here. You see Jackson and Lucky, 2 primary running backs there. 34-14. This is the 13, rather, the most points surrendered by Missouri this season. Missouri will get the football back as Goldsmith goes back, and will have to stay right there. So with time running down, Missouri will see if they can get this ball moving in the air when we come back to Nebraska. Well, they're putting themselves, Nebraska is in a position to answer that question about a championship, because if they win this game, they're probably going to take the Northern Division and go against the South Division winner, who just may be Texas. Texas 5-0 right now. With a 12. Yeah, with a rematch. That'll be taken up to the 20. No gain. Missouri's got to get it going. Let's check in on an injury. Dave.
Gary, Cornelius Brown's got a problem with his left shoulder, and is definitely having a hard time with range of motion, but the trainers tell me he should be able to return. Also, during the timeout, Martin Rucker came over, had his left foot looked at. He is back on the field. The trainer said, you know what, we'll fix you after the game.
Right. Chase Daniel at quarterback for Missouri, trying to put the ball in the air here on a second down, and it'll be caught at the 25-yard line. That is Jason Ray, a junior receiver, 5-yard gain.
I tell you, it's kind of surprising that they came out running the football with Tony Temple on this drive. They need to score. They need to get they need to have one of those classic Missouri drives where it's no more than 2 minutes and they punch one into the end zone.
Jared Perry, wide receiver, checks into the game. They've got 5 receivers out there on a big 3rd down and 4. They have got to get a first down. Even here, they'll have to take a couple of downs to try for it. Caught at the 31-yard line. He tried to get in first down territory. 6-yard gain, Alexander. Yeah, he just went out and hooked at the first down marker.
And you know what? The linebacker's trying to stay inside to protect.
First down, they move the marker. That stops the clock. As soon as the chain is set, clock will start. And a first down and 10 for Missouri. They've got 4 receivers. If you count that man in the backfield on the left side, they're looking for the long ball to the near side. It is caught at the 35, up to the 40, 45-yard line, and taken down at the 48. Chase Kaufman, the tight end, hauls it in. Near the conclusion of our game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. To honor that, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Every time I read that, I think of the day when I upped that to 10,000 accidentally. All the guys at Chevrolet fell off their chairs. They said, wow, are we ever generous?
Oh, man.
All right, first down and 10 here. Temple trying to find a little room, and in at midfield and into Nebraska territory, a 3-yard gain.
Well, it seems like a lot of time, 12 and a half minutes left in this game. But the play before, Chase Kaufman had an opportunity to get himself out of bounds without eating up any clock. Go ahead, you're going to be tackled close to the sideline anyway. Go ahead and step out of bounds, save yourself some time.
Temple's got 84 yards on 15 carries, earning back his number 1 spot. It is a second down, long yardage out of the backfield up to the 44-yard line is Tony Temple again. That is going to be a 7-yard gain. Shy of the first down, though, and it's going to bring up yet another big 3rd down for Missouri.
Yeah, they're going to have to score quick and then hope for a quick stop by the defense. And they've been on the field an awfully long time, that Missouri defense. But right now, first things first.
They've got their super fastball offense going here, as Gary Pinkel calls it. They had to slow it down because Chase Daniel wanted to change it up. Watching that play clock go down. Handoff's going to go straight ahead off the right side, and a 2-yard gain. And we'll have to have the clock stopped here because it's very close to a first down. Earl Goldsmith, who started, that tailback the carrier.
Well, look at the splits between the offensive linemen here for Missouri. I mean, it kind of reminds you of that Texas Tech offense where you get good angles, good blocking angles, spreading that big defensive line out, and you can come down and trap and pull around and get out of there. But boys, there's some huge angles.
Man, Goldsmith, Goldsmith, who got the starts, has played now in 17 games. He's the 3rd down specialist who took over the role for Tony Temple as their tailback because Temple has had fumbles in recent games. The Temple's had a strong game today. They miss it by that much. The nose of the football.
Well, my favorite play.
That quarterback keep.
That's it. Just right behind big Adam Spiker. The Remington candidate at center, him and Mike Cook on that right side. Just kind of wedge right in there. Don't waste any time. Just quick count them, too. Get out of the huddle, get to the line of scrimmage, and get it called.
3 for 9 on 4th down conversions, but 0 for 3 in the 4th quarter of games this year. Here is a 4th down attempt, and their hope of keeping the flame lit right here. And they're working out of the gun.
Yeah, uncovered receiver right there. Just go to him right now.
Chase Daniel. He's going to carry to the right side. He's going to get the first down as he takes it to about the 40-yard line. Well, I'll tell you something. Shanley got him, but Daniel in this game has had a couple of carries where he's saying to the rest of the team, this is how we're doing it. We are not done yet.
No, not at all. And you know what? His body language, a lot of guys on that offense, they feed from him. Even the defensive guys, they see how Chase Daniels how he plays the game, and they kind of feed from it. I mean, it kind of gets you fired up when you see your quarterback stick his head in there.
They've got 5 receivers out of the gun in the pocket, trying to move out, gets a rush, got to carry it, and we'll take it back to about the line of scrimmage. There'll be no gain. Matt Weiner in New York.
Gary, time for a singular ESPN All-America Player of the Week update. Texas Tech's Joel Fulani has been burning the Baylor Bears all afternoon to the tune of 7 catches, 196 yards receiving, and 3 touchdowns. To vote, text vote date 7654 on your singular wireless telephone.
That's a day.
Yeah, we got a chance to watch Joel Fulani have a heck of a game one day down at California.
Big play here, and it's incomplete. And the receiver ended up getting pushed back into the backfield over there on the far side, Jared Perry, and it was nowhere near the football.
Boy, and you can hit him behind the line of scrimmage. You're going to see the screen right here come develop. Then he's going to just start up and come right back down underneath. And you can hit him. You see number 8 to put his hand on him, Andrew Shanley. And once he's behind the line, he is fair game.
A 3rd down and 11, 13 out of 25, 157 yards in the air. The little short comeback, and not a first down. It'll be brought to the 36-yard line. Only a gain of 3 for Martin Rucker. And now another 4th down play coming up for Missouri.
Well, I think Missouri, Gary, they're playing right into the hands of this Nebraska football team by throwing the screens underneath and, you know, the little runs that they're having here and there. You've got base personnel on the field, and you've got 2 outstanding tight ends in Rutger and Kaufman. Throw the football down the field of those guys. Make Bo Rude and Stuart Bradley play defense and make them come out of just the base personnel. 4th down. Nebraska fans know what a big play this is. They're looking to the sideline. It's caught.
First down at the 25-yard line. William Franklin, an 11-yard gain. He has been their leading receiver all year, but he's had a tough day with double coverage, but he finds a way to haul that one in.
Boy, he sells Courtney Grigsby on an inside move. Watch him come down inside and then back out. And you see right on time with the football is Chase Daniel. He knows the body language of Will Franklin. I'm going to start inside, get Courtney Grigsby overcommitted, and then put that foot in the ground and go back outside.
13th play of the drive, caught at the 20-yard line, Jared Perry, and he's not going to go anywhere, but it's good enough for a 6-yard gain.
And that's all you want. You're going to throw a quick hitch. A lot of defensive coordinators don't think from the left hash of the field that I will throw the hitch route way back across the field because the ball is in the air a long period of time. But if you got a quarterback that's accurate and has a strong arm like Chase Daniel, you don't hesitate to make that throw.
Chase Daniel with a 2nd down and a 4. And off. Temple's got some room. 15 takes it down to about the 13-yard line. Tony Temple on the carry. That's good for 7. We'll have our Thrifty Car Rental postgame report, time permitting, coming up. Scores and highlights. John Craig and Doug back in New York. And they are shuffling players in a hurry on both sides now. Chase Daniel orchestrating a beautiful drive. Temple comes on in the backfield along with Goldsmith.
Oh, that middle of the field wide open for a tie.
Here's the option. Nowhere to go. Big hit by Jay Moore. An explosion into the backfield. He leads this team in tackles for a loss. Give them another one.
All right, they are playing cover 2 or that 4-cross umbrella back deep, and you try to run the option against a very quick, fast defense like Nebraska. And Jay Moore right there. He's got the quarterback on that play. He's able to get Chase Daniel down. And right here, I think I'm going to attack the middle of the field. They're in a soul in the middle of this Nebraska defense.
2nd down and 16. Daniel looking down the middle to the end zone. It is incomplete. Chase Kaufman, one of the tight ends that will stop the clock. Andrew Shanley, the senior, on the coverage.
When you do it, they try to bring Chase Kaufman from the outside in, and it takes a little bit too long. It allows for Shanley to follow him from the inside at the safety position all the way down and in. Just do it from a normal slot receiver, maybe a tight end flexed out, or just one of the other slot receivers where you get a chance to get there quick. Nebraska showing blitz.
17th play, launches one to the corner, hoping. Little pushing and shoving, it is incomplete, and there are no flags. Kaufman again was the intended receiver. Courtney Grigsby on the coverage.
And it was Bo Rude from his outside linebacker position that blitzed. And I'll tell you, he gave Chase Daniel a shot right here. He gets there and with another Cornhusker, and they're able to just get there in enough time to disrupt the rhythm of Chase Daniel.
What a play by Grigsby, reaching around. He leads the team in pass breakups. Here we go again. A 4th down and 16 game on the line. Missouri's got to get a first down here. Over the middle for the TD. Touchdown! Chase Kaufman on a 4th down conversion.
Just put the tight end in the middle of the field. They're trying to go too deep. The safeties are way off on the hash marks. They've been begging them and daring them to throw in the middle of the field. And there, the tight end right in behind coverage over the linebackers, and one heck of a throw. I'm going to throw it high and allow Chase Kaufman to climb the ladder and make a play.
His 6th touchdown reception of the year. Missouri gets on the board. Still 8:10 to go. Looking for their 20th point right here. Wolford comes on for the PAT. What a drive. Undermanned right there by Chase Daniel. I mean, a tremendous job at quarterback. The kick is up and it is good. It took 6:20. They ran 18 plays to cover 80 yards. Missouri gets the touchdown and they are back in it.
ESPN's college football on ABC. Presented by Best Buy. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours. Chevrolet, America's brand. Chevy, an American revolution. And the City Premier Pass credit card. Rewarding. Very, very, very rewarding.
Well, Missouri, is it a little late or not? Kaufman with a touchdown catch. And for Chase Daniel, the quarterback from Missouri, a new single season mark. Passing yardage 2,484 now as he went from 5th to 1st in Missouri history on that last drive. And a great drive it was, but they got to get the football back again.
And Chase Daniel right on time with the football there. And nice job of leading his football team back, leading them down the field and then punching it in the end zone.
And this kick will be taken at the 7-yard line. Lucky's got it, and he will be brought down at about the 22-yard line. And now you got to hang on to that football. If you are Nebraska, do not cough it up. That's what Missouri's hoping for. Little Red down there celebrating 117 years of football here at Nebraska, along with a record crowd here at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. And Nebraska's got the football and the lead with 8:02 to go here in the 4th quarter. Zach Taylor will work under center. They're going to try and hang on to it here. It is a 1st down and 10. Jackson is the lone running back. You see he's just watching the clock run down. They're going to wait till the last second on that play clock before they snap the football. Time running against Missouri. Jackson gets hit, line of scrimmage, and moves forward for maybe a yard. Harrington on the tackle.
Well, let's take a look at the rush chart here. And Brandon Jackson and the job he's done, all 91 yards of it today. A touchdown to the left, but he's had most of the success right up the gut, right at the Missouri defense in the middle of the formation. Had a couple of nice runs on the outside, but it's basically been right at the heart of that Missouri defense.
He has solidified his spot as number 1 after his 182-yard performance against Oklahoma State last week. Another big performance in the backfield. Nebraska with a 2nd down and 9. Todd and Jackson both there. That's going to be incomplete.
You know, I just don't.
What is that?
I don't understand, and I don't agree with what Bill Callahan is doing in this situation. It's too much time right now to break what you've done early. Break your rhythm. They come out of the huddle. The clock started. It's running down. Everybody just kind of gets lethargic. Then you throw a pass out there like that, which is going to stop the clock. If you're going to run the clock, run the football.
Yeah. Stopping the clock's the big thing to me here. That's
what Missouri wants you to do, and they can save those timeouts.
They still have all 3 of them. And it brings up a big third down play. 10 out of 14 third down conversions. They go to Jackson. There is no room, and he is brought down.
Yeah, Missouri's going to get the football with pretty good field position. And I'll tell you what, right there, that drive is on the shoulders of Bill Callahan.
That is inexplicable on the second down.
Don't understand that one whatsoever. And that keeps teams in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does.
And stops the clock. So Zach Taylor will head on out of there, and they're going to have to punt the football. This is only the second punt that they've had to put up in this game. Titchener comes on to do the kicking, averaging 40. And that's a fair catch call for at the 34-yard line. Marcus Woods, a 40-yard punt. More importantly, though, for Missouri, very little time came off that clock.
Yeah.
And they've got the football back. Tonight, don't miss the showdown between 2 of the best. The Big 12. Oklahoma comes to College Station to rumble the Aggies of A&M. Some of you will see UCA, California, Virginia Tech, Miami. Check your local listings. It's presented by Southwest Airlines, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC.
All right, big Jaworski Lane tonight. The big fella.
Mr. Truck.
Lane train.
Missouri's got the football, first down and 10. And it'll be carried up to the 35-36 by Goldsmith for a 2-yard gain.
Don't understand that call either. I mean, maybe nobody wants to get in the end zone. You got to throw the football to win. You hadn't popped a long run, maybe one in this entire game. If you're Missouri, you got to line up. You don't have time on your side. Throw the football down the field for yardage.
All right, out of the shotgun again, it'll be Chase Daniel. Daniel's got the 5 receivers, including one out of the backfield. Little comeback hook at the first down marker. Caught up to midfield, still spinning around. Great effort all the way down to the 41-yard line. William Franklin, a 23-yard gain. Let's check in a SportsCenter in-game. Matt Weiner back in our New York studios.
All right, Gary, it's been a rough afternoon for Joe Paterno and Penn State at Wisconsin. They trail by 10, and Paterno was knocked down when Andrew Corliss, his tight end, was taken out by a couple of Badger defenders. The 80-year-old legend eventually left the game on a cart with his knee in a brace, and his team still trails by 10.
It is caught to the 30-yard line and down to the 27-yard line. Alexander on the catch, a 13-yard gain as Chase Daniel again moving this team in the air.
Yeah, and when they attack, when Dave Christensen, the offensive coordinator, attacks Nebraska down the field, that's where they've had the success. Not throwing underneath, not trying to run a little stretch play underneath it or outside the tackles. It's down the field attacking this Nebraska defense.
First down and 10. Daniel is putting on a show here in this fourth quarter. He's looking over the middle of the end zone. It'll be incomplete. Down around the 5 for Chase Kaufman, the tight end, stopping the clock with 5:06 left to go in the fourth.
Boy, film study tomorrow. Chase Daniel's going to wish he had 2 passes back. That one to Chase Kaufman, and then the one to Brad Ekwu early in the first quarter of this football game, where he just kind of overthrew him a little bit, and they had to settle for a field goal. But I'll tell you what, driving right now, Missouri still in this football game.
They got to get the touchdown. 19 for 33, 233 yards in the air for Daniel. That one's going to be incomplete at the 20-yard line. Not really close on that one as it's out of bounds.
Yeah, he had Jay Moore, the defensive end, on the left side of the formation, right in his face. He got by Joel Klingler and beat him and had a clear path to Chase Daniel and really couldn't step into that throw.
Moore, outstanding job again, as he is an outstanding rusher.
And once again, you got a linebacker out here matched up on the tight end, Kaufman.
3 for 11. Big rush put on. Gets away, gets a block, throws it at the 25-yard line. It is caught. Nowhere near enough for a first down. Nebraska's arguing the quarterback was down. Jared Perry made the catch.
Well, Jared Perry just fighting and scratching over there, working against Andre Jones, and it's a catch. I thought he had his hands under it, but what a job of Chase Daniel getting his football out.
Boy, he was close to being down.
He was close. That knee was close to being down.
They're going to take a timeout. Missouri is here, I believe. There's arguments going on both sides of the field. One from Missouri, they want the timeout. Clock keeps running, and everybody's in the face of the officials trying to get the timeout. The clock kept going, The other question is, was that ball actually caught by Jared Perry?
Well, the crowd here, which are every one of them with the exception of a couple of hundred, are Nebraska fans, so you know you're going to get that from them.
Little frenzy going on here in the sea of red. Fourth quarter with Nebraska on top. We are in the fourth quarter with Nebraska leading it. Couple of issues here. One was the quarterback down before he released this football. Were his knees on the grass?
Well, it's going to be close. I mean, it hits, but he's already in motion of throwing the football. And under the rules, if you're saying the knee gets him down right here, he's down. You see the knee on the ground there, and then the ball's coming out. But, you know, that's one of those touchy ones with, you know, whether he's down or is he already in motion of throwing the football, how far off of his hand was the ball when the knee hit.
Did Jared Perry really catch that football? That's another issue. We were talking, Andre.
I'm saying it's one heck of a play. It's a completion. How about that?
During the break, we were saying, though, it's like in basketball with a shooter on the clock. If you haven't released the football, if you haven't released the basketball, if you haven't released it, then, in fact, it's not a shot.
It's not a shot.
And it doesn't count. It's kind of the same thing in football. If you haven't let that ball go by the time your knee touches, then you're down.
Yeah, that's true.
But the call on the field was that it was a good pass. You've got to have the evidence upstairs, uncontroverted evidence, that, in fact, he was down in order for the replay booth to overrule the call on the field. Now, our understanding now is that they have decided he was down. Now the question is, where was he on the field? Yeah. Where are they going to put the football?
Where the knee came down. And, you know, if you're Chase Daniel, you're getting this kind of pressure. You just got to find somewhere to get rid of this football. Right there, throw it in the stands. Throw you out of the tackle box, let it go somewhere. But, boy, that's close, Gary. I mean, you could see the arm coming up or coming through, actually, as the knee was hitting simultaneously with the ball coming out.
It's going to bring the ball back, it looks like, to about the 41-yard line, if that's, in fact, the call. And if it is, it's going to be a very long yardage situation. So Gary Pinkel, Missouri, Bill Callahan, Nebraska, looking on here as this is a vital drive for Missouri, trying to get this football in to give themselves a chance by making it a one-touchdown differential. Nebraska's trying to avoid losing their third in a row. They have had three-game losing streaks over the last 4 years. They don't need one here. Missouri trying to get a big win on the road. They haven't won a game here since '78 against Nebraska on Nebraska's home turf.
Well, we'll get the official word right now.
Maybe.
Okay. In a second.
After review, he was ruled down. Fourth down. Ball is spotted at the 41-yard line. Will be fourth down. Please reset the clock to 4:59. 4:59.
Wow. There's the biggest change.
That's a big loss.
There's 4:19 on the clock. They set it back to 4:59. That actually could be to Missouri's advantage.
Absolutely.
But because of where that spot was, they've lost some yardage.
Fourth and forever.
Yeah. This is a fourth and forever. The first down marker is all the way down at the 18-yard line.
And don't ask me what I'd call in this situation, because I don't have a play for 4th and 23.
I'd put 4 guys down at the 10-yard line and throw it.
Get vertical.
Get vertical, guys. All right, Chase Daniel, the quarterback from Missouri. Another crucial fourth down. A fourth down and 23. Daniel out of the shotgun. Gets protection. Looks over the middle and throws it incomplete. They do not convert. Chase Daniel banging his hands on the carpet. He threw to the receiver on the out. The receiver came back in.
Yeah, he had Chase Kaufman. He works his way down the field, runs very well for a tight end, gets to the first down marker, and you see outside is where the open area is. He had Courtney Grigsby playing inside position. He was just Chase Daniel thinking he's going to work his way back outside. He almost could have had that one for a completion.
Yep, he had room on the outside, but that's not where the ball was thrown. So Kaufman coming back on happy. The Nebraska football team now once again will try and hang on to it. In the last drive, they couldn't do that. 4:41 left to go here in the fourth. Brandon Jackson will stay in that backfield. He's had 28 carries and 94 yards in this football game. And there he is, number 32. Get to the line of scrimmage and taken down by Harrington. No gain. Dave Lamont.
Well, Gary, it's one of our favorite days of the year. The third Saturday in November is National College Football Day, and we're celebrating by wearing these pins around town. We've got a few of them over here, and this year for the first time, National College Football Day is linked up with the V Foundation for Cancer Research. The V Foundation for Cancer Research, of course, was founded in 1993 by ESPN, the late Jim Valvano, and they've raised more than $60 million. And commemorative National College Football Day lapel pins were distributed to every Division I head coach, and a lot of us in the media today were wearing them proudly and loving the fact that you're in a great atmosphere here on National College Football Day.
Celebrating that first game back in 1869 at Rutgers with Princeton, and Rutgers playing it. The pitch out flag is down behind the play. Jackson will take it up to the 45-yard line. There is, however, a flag down.
It's usually in the area somebody maybe jumped a little early, or a holding penalty when it comes from the referee.
Illegal motion. Yep. Number 41 offense. 5 yards, second down.
Started a little bit early.
That helps Missouri as it stops the clock again. With 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining, Bill Callahan, with the gathering of a number of offensive players, making the decision. He calls the offensive plays, the head coach. They all come over and stand and wait, and then after he's made the decision, out on the field they come. Nebraska just wants to hang on now and to give themselves a great chance of winning the Northern Division of the Big 12 and a chance to go to that championship game in Kansas City against the Southern Division winner, which a lot of people think is going to be Texas. They are the #1 team right now. Timeout is taken. The second charge to Missouri, and it will come with 3:40 left to go here in the fourth. Want to remind you tonight, do not miss the showdown. Two of the best of the Big 12. Oklahoma College Station will be the place. The Aggies of A&M. Some of you will see UCLA, California, or Virginia Tech, Miami. Check your local listings. Saturday Night Football presented by Southwest Airlines, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
That'll be a good ball game down in Kyle Field, and this is the only play right here that kept Texas A&M from being undefeated. Graham Harrell down the sideline. Mr. Johnson cashing it in, and that's the one. That's the play. Beats Jordan Peterson down that sideline. That's why A&M's not undefeated. Otherwise, you'd have an undefeated Texas A&M football team playing against Oklahoma tonight.
Texas A&M 4-1. Oklahoma's 4-1. 3-1 rather in the Southern Division of the Big 12. Baylor, Oklahoma State, and then Texas Tech. Texas on top with that 5-0 mark in the Big 12.
Yeah, and they're going to get Nebraska at Kyle Field next week, and then on the road to Texas, which is a great rivalry in college football. The Texas A&M Aggies and the Texas Longhorns.
And the Northern Division with Missouri and Nebraska both at 3-2 in Big 12 play. That's why this game's so important. Even though there'd only be a one-game difference in the win-loss column, tiebreaker is head-to-head. So the winner of this one, in effect, takes a two-game edge in the division. Lucky is in the backfield and gets the football and will move it over midfield down to the 48-yard line. That's good enough for a 6-yard gain. Sulak moved in and put the hit on, and it looks like it's enough for a first down. Very close.
Yeah, we thought we'd see as many as 4 running backs today for Nebraska. This one's going to be close, and they're going to bring the chains out and measure it. But we saw Brandon Jackson. He's had one heck of an afternoon. Marlon Lucky, is when he's been in the game, has run awfully hard. But we thought we'd see Cody Glenn and Kenny Wilson as well. They've kind of been silent today. It's just been the two-headed monster, and Lucky and Jackson.
They have earned the right to be out there because of what they've done in recent games. Jackson's going to have another 100-yard game probably. He's got 98 and a TD. Lucky's had 9 carries for 29 yards, and that's been it. They are the running backs who have done the running. There's Jackson. Take a look at what he's done.
Yeah, it just kind of inside and making guys miss. He's able to break outside. Got a nice little wiggle to him there. And you'll see him. He'll just pound away at a defense. Trusting runner. Trust his offensive line. He gets kind of tucks back in between there, running behind Dane Todd, his big fullback. They're almost mixed up with Zach Thomas, and that's the touchdown run to kind of cap the drive. But he's had a heck of an afternoon.
Over 1,000 yards gained coming into the game. He had 1,026, and will move in on another 100 yards to be added to that in this game. And this Horn Lake, Mississippi runner is proving to be their #1 go-to guy in that backfield now, as it's really gone down from 4 to 1.
Yeah.
And backs who are carrying the football. Here is a 4th down, short yardage. Jackson stays in that backfield. And big movements. And it looks like it's going to be a 1st down on a penalty. The long count and movement. And striker Sulak moved into that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they call that, they explode to.
Offside defense, number 38. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
They call it exploding from one formation to another. Get a lot of movement, a lot of hard count from Zach Taylor, and that's exactly what they were trying to do. They got striker Sulak to jump off sides, which gives them the 1st down.
Missouri's going to have to look back at yet another game where the turnovers have mattered so much. Nebraska's got 14 points off 2 turnovers by Missouri. Nebraska, they've had a turnover, but they've given up nothing off that turnover. And for Missouri, the 3rd game with the turnovers, all of them have been losses for them, have made the difference. Jackson in the backfield again, 1st down and 10. There he is, cutting back to the inside. It'll be good enough for about 3 yards, and we're moving over that 100-yard mark today in rushing. Our Chevrolet players of the game: Brandon Jackson, number 32. He just saw carrying the football, and Tony Temple on the other side. In recognition of their efforts, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
Well, they got what they wanted out of the running game from Tony Temple with Missouri, but just, you mentioned it, the turnovers, too hard, too tough to overcome. They spotted 14 points off turnovers. Chase Daniel right there playing from behind the 8 ball all afternoon long.
It will be a 2nd down and long yardage. Jackson on the carry. Jackson breaks away and will take it all the way down to the 31. Fumble the football. It ended up on the field here, but it looks like it's still Nebraska's ball.
You see him right here in nice little stiff arm against David Overstreet.
No, Missouri got it.
Came out.
Missouri's got the football back on a fumble. A little reach in from behind to help that ball out.
And it was striker Sulak, the guy that jumps off sides, comes up with a fumble recovery here. Comes in, gets a nice paw in there, and then comes up with a fumble recovery. In Missouri yet to roll over. They're still fighting and scratching. They get a look from upstairs, but that is a fumble. That is a fumble.
Another question on the review, all plays are reviewed, is whether or not he was down before that football came loose. Sulak had a nice reach in from behind here.
You're right there. The ball's coming out, and it's out, and it is that's a fumble.
The replay booth will take a look at this. They see the same replays that you do.
Ball's coming out, then the knee hits. It's on the ground.
So Missouri may get another shot at it here if the play as called on the field holds up. They are all out of timeouts, so they're really going to have to rush the football downfield as they are trailing here 34-20.
Well, if you're one of those backs at Nebraska, as close as they are with talent level, you're almost afraid to put the ball on the ground. That ball's out before the knee comes down, because you know the next guy, Marlon Lucky, Cody Glenn, Kenny Wilson, they're all capable of toting the mail. So you don't want to start putting them on the ground.
Used to see running backs in this situation, Andre, would take both arms. You would have that football in the cradle.
When you get in a crowded area, most young runners should put it away. You get in a crowded area like that, instead of trying to break your fall, go ahead and then turn your shoulders as you're going, put both hands on the football. But there, that's close. The ball's coming out, the knee hits right there. The ball's out right now, and then the knee hits. Good job of camera work there. Right there, you get a nice close-up look. The ball is out, the knee is touching, it's on the ground.
Shouldn't
take this long.
There has to be that indisputable evidence to overturn the call on the field.
After review, the ball was fumbled, belongs to Missouri. Nebraska will be charged with a timeout.
So Nebraska, that was a coach's review as they asked for the look, and if you ask for that review and you get one chance a game to do it, you are charged with a timeout if in fact the call is not changed.
And it's a good gamble on the part of Bill Callahan. You're trying to get the football back and run the clock out, and if not, all you lose is a timeout.
Now you got no time.
Nebraska defense 30th in the nation in points scored against them. They've given up only an average of 17 a game. Missouri's got 20 in this one. Chase Daniel, no timeouts to work with. 1st and 10. Daniel to the sideline. It is caught and out of bounds at the 43. Martin Rucker, 12-yard gain. Got out of bounds, stops the clock.
Well, you see a bunch of guys over here, 3 Missouri players, only 2 Nebraska defenders, and that's why Martin Rucker's wide open, able to get down the field on a nice little out route. Everybody's dropping deep, gets himself out of bounds and saves time.
4 receptions, 32 yards for Rucker. The tight ends of Missouri, 2 of the best, have really not been a part of this game until the 4th. Big rush put on near side, lobbed. That'll be incomplete. Threw that one away as he had a big-time rush coming at him. Alexander, the receiver, the only receiver even remotely close to that one.
Well, they try to blitz Bo Rude from the inside position. Jay Moore getting pressure as well. But as a receiver, you have to look down inside and notice whether you've got to be able to determine as well as the quarterback when the blitz is coming, because you know what, the sense of urgency kicks in. I got to shorten my route up. I can't go the full 15. I got to maybe shorten it to 10 and get in and out of my break.
Only a sophomore quarterback here. Daniel in a carry. He'll get squeezed and he'll get taken down after just a 1-yard gain by Jay Moore on the hit.
Number 1 rule in the 2-minute drill, Gary. Do not take a sack if you're the quarterback, because the clock's running. Everybody's got to run back, get set. A lot of time being wasted.
They are 3 for 12. Not a good number in 3rd down conversions. Missouri 3rd down here. And again, he's looking to carry the football and fake the pass. He gets it up to midfield. Fumble the football or not. He gave it up. And let's see where they mark it here. We'll wait for the official. Again,
Rude again.
It's Nebraska's football. Bo Rude getting it done.
And the whole crowd here starts yelling, Rude.
He's had a day, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had one heck of a day. Sticks that big paw in there and rakes it out. And then all of a sudden he's like, I don't want to run very far this time. I was a little tired the last time that happened. He's had one heck of a ball game today.
Chase Daniels had a couple of touchdowns, but he's also had 2 interceptions. And now the ball stripped out of his hands. 3rd turnover. Missouri. The other 2 have gone for touchdowns for Nebraska.
Well, I just thought that Missouri, where the success was coming for them, was attacking Nebraska, the middle of the field in cover 2, and then down around the slots on the outside. They keep trying to run, you know, horizontally and throwing little bubble screens and things of that sort, and not having much luck. And Chase Daniels all of a sudden feels like he's got to take everything on his shoulders.
Yep. Zach Taylor, quarterback here, hands off to Lucky, and around the corner to the 40 and to the 35-yard line. It'll be good enough for a 9-yard gain for Marlon Lucky. So this Nebraska team, they've avoided a number of situations where it looked like Missouri was going to get right back into this game. Their defense has come up with big plays, and they've been able to convert when they've needed on offense, especially in the 3rd down situations today. It's made an enormous difference. 10 out of 16 Nebraska 3rd down. Missouri 3 out of 13. And 413 total yards put up here. Lucky again on the carry. Nebraska piling up the offensive yardage again in this football game. And Bill Callahan, with that offense he brought from the pros and the West Coast style, has taken hold here in Nebraska.
And we talked with Johnny Rogers in the 2nd quarter, and he said, you know, now we can recruit kids from all over the country because we've got an offense that as a pro style, it basically gets you ready for the next level. And that's one of the recruiting spills that they give. They sell it, or sell this program on that you come in, learn the West Coast offense, you transition very well on into the NFL.
Zach Taylor's going to be 15-7 as a starter at quarterback for Nebraska. That ball carried up to about the 33. That'll be an 8-yard gain, and that will be it. The Cornhuskers have given themselves a great chance to go to the Big 12 championship game as they win this one over the Tigers 34-20. Dave Lamont down on the field. Andre Ware, yours truly, Gary Thorne upstairs. Hope you enjoyed it. A lot more to come. John, Craig, and Doug standing by in New York from Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm Gary Thorne. We bid you adieu.